Welcome back to Decoded Live from One. This is day 2. We are once again live on the Expo Hall floor at the One Conference 2025. I am Eliza. I am your Developer Engagement Manager for North America. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Logan.
Hello. My name is Logan Braid. I'm Developer Advocate here at OutSystems, and we are joined by a very special guest to kick us off, Andreia. Andreia, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi. I'm so excited to be here again. Also, I want to apologize to everyone about my voice. It's barely there. It was barely there yesterday, and I thought with some medication it would become better, but then there was a party, there was the whole situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my voice just comes and goes sometimes.
We've all been talking all day, all night.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andreia. I am the manager of community engagement at OutSystems. I basically run a team of amazing community managers who have the opportunity to create moments where developers get together, have fun, events where people can, share their victories, share their concerns, frustrations, all of the above, learn best practices. And I get the honor and the privilege of putting together things like this. So that's me.
Well, we have Andreia on the stream today to talk about everything that went down yesterday. It was a packed agenda. But before we get into that, I want to say 2 things. 1, Andreia is my manager. So if you're a big fan of what I'm doing here, please let us know in the chat. And if you're not,
Don't
no
say
need
anything.
to share anything.
Don't say
We're
anything.
fine. While I have you all in the chat, though, we'd love to know where you're tuning in from. We are, of course, in Lisbon. Yesterday, we had a couple people from the U.S. join, so it was like the break of dawn there for them. We had some people in APAC, in EMEA. I'm using the business terms because we are at a tech conference, of course. But yeah, let us know in the chat where you're tuning in from. We're excited to have you here. Logan?
Yeah, and just a reminder for anyone tuning in for the first time, we're streaming for 4 hours straight with only a few short video breaks, each under 3 minutes. We'll also have an opportunity for you at home to win some really cool exclusive prize packs during our trivia sessions. And of course, we have a ton of guests. So let's go ahead and see who is going to be here. We have, of course, Andreia, who's an amazing guest. We have Miguel, my boss, Rodrigo, so be sure to leave some great comments for me when he's on. And, of course, many, many more.
Yes, and if you're interested in the leaders we have today, this is the sort of timings for when they'll be on. Rodrigo and Miguel, the leaders of our DevRel team, are in the 2nd hour, and then we got 2 product folks in the 3rd hour, and our VP of Customer Success in the 4th hour to chat with us.
Yeah, and then, of course, another round of trivia.
I will say we had a lot of participants yesterday.
We did. I think there was like,
was hot.
Yeah, it was like 30 people actively in it. So be sure to
cool.
be a part of it because you can actually win some pretty cool prizes.
Yeah, the timings are on the screen there. I did use a website to figure out the time math, so you don't have to be concerned that I messed it up. Okay, so let's pivot to our temporary co-host. Andreia was lucky enough to be a huge part of planning the community keynote this year.
Good Lord.
But she was also integral in planning lots of conference details. What were some of your favorite moments from day 1?
Oh, it's so hard to pick. It was such a long day. To be fair, for me, it started before 7 a.m. I think if we walk through end to end the entire day, I think when I got here, so we're taking up 2 pavilions out of 4 of the biggest conference center in Portugal, which I think is something of value. This is where Web Summit puts together their conference for tens of thousands of people. So I think we were very blessed to be able to get these 2 pavilions for us. And yesterday it was, months and months of hard work coming to life. I cry a lot. I get super emotional. Eliza knows that. Logan still probably doesn't.
I'm still learning.
Hasn't seen that side of me where I get really emotional about these things. But honestly, our job is working with community is all about people, and it's all about connecting people. So I think that seeing what we put together from 3D to actual real life was just so mesmerizing, and so it was like a very powerful moment. So I think that was biggest moment in the morning. And then, after Woodson, nothing can beat that, right? So our CEO keynote was filled with amazing announcements. So if we look into victories for our developers now all get a free ODC personal edition, which is insane.
Yeah, absolutely
Claps for
incredible.
that. It's been something that they've been yearning for years, that since we launched ODC, only ODC customers or only partners that were working with ODC had access to an instance. And so we're giving them the opportunity for them to build things that have for a really long time been very unattainable for free forever, with no time limits, with no constraints. And I feel like for the first time they feel so empowered to build applications with all our new AI features. So both Mentor and Agent Workbench that was very much talked about yesterday, they're all available for free. That's insane.
That's cool.
And of course, for our customers, I'm on the developer side, so I care about our users, but their bosses who pay them, so our customers are also going to get a free ODC instance, all O11 customers, which is also, so empowering for them to understand the power that ODC has for them to understand all the innovations that they're able to do, and for them to understand the power of coexistence, the power of unifying O11 and ODC together. So I feel like it's such a groundbreaking moment in OutSystems history for everyone involved. I've never seen so many people come out of a keynote that happy before. And
the energy was like, it was exciting.
It was insane. And I think that, one of the things that people really felt excited about was the immediacy. There's this sense of urgency of things happening now. So it's not that we're launching this, you're going to be able to try it out end of year or beginning of next. Is as you leave the session, you're going to be able to register. You're going to be able to email your account executive. You're going to get it today. So I feel like nothing can beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
But there were some things that came very close, okay? Yeah. We have so many of our super users, our community members here. Again, I barely have any voice, and now I notice that I don't have any water. And I'm going to be talking for a really long time.
Well, so speaking about your voice, and all of our voices, in fact, probably because of this, but how was the Neo party last night?
Lord.
And actually, I think we have some pictures that we can show off.
Oh,
yeah, there it is.
he
There it is. There's Neo rocking out.
Neo was such a fun part of yesterday. To be fair, I don't remember seeing Neo at the party. But that is to say that the party was so big and we had so many people that didn't see Neo. So this party had over 800 people, if I'm not mistaken.
That's wild.
Wow.
It was set in a very peculiar space. Thank you. Your perfection. I got the water, you guys. It was set in a very peculiar place. It was it's kind of like a historical institution, once a factory, now reconverted into an event venue, nightclub, but it is very industrial looking.
Yes, I sent pictures of it to my friends at home, and with all the lights and the bare sort of 200-year-old plaster, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's some like brownish curtains upstairs. They were saying it kind of looked like a Star Wars planet instead of
that's cool.
in the middle. Yeah,
Yeah.
Very
Abandoned church, factory situation.
Yes.
But those are details. That's secondary. It was a wonderful, marvelous venue. But it was huge, right? So last year we did it on a boat. This year we really wanted to take it to the next level. So we wanted to make sure that everyone from the event could fit, everyone of the event could be comfortable, have space to dance. It was the longest party that we've ever put together.
Wow.
Last year we got some feedback. The party was starting later. I'm Portuguese. I'm used to clubs closing at 8 in the morning. I still, sometimes I tell Eliza, poor girl, that I went out clubbing and sometimes I got home at 7 in the morning. She's what do you mean? What do you mean?
I wake up at 6 every morning,
As
so
you
this is
should.
Yeah.
bewildering to
As
me.
you should.
I'm at like
I
8,
think you're the
guys.
healthy one here, not me. But so we're used to parties being later. And last year when we did it in the Netherlands, we started at 9, at 10, which is when people usually go to bed. They have dinner at 6, 7. So this
Yeah.
year we pushed it a little bit back. So the party started at 9. Before 9, people were already lining up. People were
Yeah.
queuing
Yeah.
up. And at midnight, our DJ, João, he stopped playing, and we had several people being like, just one more. And a lot of people still went out to get a few more drinks. So I went to bed like a very responsible lady, and I'm here now, and I think my voice is just, slightly better. Slightly. Keyword.
Well, speaking of your voice, we've been chatting a lot in the community village behind us. Can you talk a little bit about what the activities have been there?
Yes, lots of activities, lots of activations. So our community village is the new name that we have encountered to cover all different areas of things for our developers. Of course, we have the lounges for our super users, our MVPs and our champions, our beloved VIPs. They have been very, very well treated this year. They have a VIP lane, they have VIP bracelets, they have pins and stickers and all the things, t-shirts just for them.
Oh my God, the pins have been crazy.
I know. I feel like I still only have like a third of all of them that we produced, and I have none of our product. Maybe, I should get more product pins. So this year we decided to create different activities in the lounges. In the past years, it's been more of like a chill zone space, but we wanted to bring in more people to get to know our MVPs and our champions. So our MVPs have this very fun thing, which is they have their own stage in their booth. At the beginning, when we were ideating this situation, it came from a conversation that we've had where they wanted to roast each other, like a stand-up comedy situation, because they're all friends outside of work. They've known each other for years.
Yeah.
They like to, make fun of each other all the time, as much as I like to make fun of you all the time. It's what buddies do, and they wanted to pass on that banter outwards. So we were like, well, maybe do it with the mic on and with everyone to see.
Yeah.
But, because we're in a corporate event, they're now doing demos. Bless them.
Of course.
Bless their hearts. But it's been very crowded, and people are super interested, and it really worked out. So it's been fun. Our champions, on the other hand, last year they had a ping pong table.
Oh my gosh.
This year they have quizzes and competitions and a buzzer.
Oh my God.
Oh,
They have
okay.
a buzzer. Yeah,
Like
it's
a
very
game
violent.
show.
It's very violent. It's like a game show. It's very violent. So we bought the wrong buzzer. We wanted the buzzer that did the noise
Yeah.
and the light. It doesn't. So it just exists. So
It's just for fun.
yeah,
just
so
a plastic buzzer.
So people, and we only have one, so we don't have with the lights who
Of
turned it
course.
on first. So the rule is, whoever
Hits it
touches it
first.
first
Okay.
gets to answer. I have never seen that amount of violence for people to answer
Full
questions
contact game show.
Yeah.
for a backpack, but I appreciate the commitment. I'm obsessed with them. They're having so much fun. It's been champions versus, participants. We invite them to come and play with them. It's been hilarious. And then we have our enablement related booths. So we
Yeah.
have our education services, formerly known as our training booth. They're all about the AI bootcamp that we just launched. They're sharing all the information, and we're going to update a bunch of certifications with agentic related questions. So that's going to be really fun. Our technical knowledge team, who's really focused on our training courses and our documentation, just launched an agentic course where everyone here is going to be able to build 4 agents, get their AI developer badge, and, be able to show off a little bit.
Yeah.
And of course, we have our Developers Give Back booth, where we're supporting the nonprofits that are part of our Digital Volunteers program. we have a bunch of nonprofits here. People are talking to them. You know, they were featured in both Woodson's and Miguel's keynote. So there's this big angle of using technology to build for good in this event,
which is incredible.
Very contagious. So people are always there, and we have this silent disco situation where people are watching the videos of the 10 finalists of the Build for the Future hackathon. So a lot is happening.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And earlier on, I want to kind of cycle back. You were talking about the different keynotes and everything that was going on. You were instrumental in the community keynote. So I wanted to ask you, you worked extremely hard over the last month crafting that keynote. Can you maybe talk a little bit about that process and the keynote itself?
Yes. I hope it doesn't trigger my, PTSD. It's been a long process. So I've been fortunate enough, lucky, privileged, to be able to work on the community keynote for the past 3 years. It's been an exercise, and it's been ever-growingly challenging. I don't know if this is a word. I don't know if this is a word. Forgive me. I'm native Portuguese, but sometimes I make up words. Last year, you taught me a word, and I didn't teach you a word, but I told you a word that I had learned. Anyway, sorry.
This is what happened on the stream last year because I have no memory.
Also. But I taught you a word of like when boats are, which I forgot, when boats are like moored.
Moored, yes,
Moored,
moored.
yeah.
Moored.
It's a great
And
word.
you were very proud of me. Yeah. But I don't know if ever-growingly is a word. But we're going to go with it. It's been ever-growingly challenging. This year, with Woodson joining the company and with the whole redesign of the way that he delivers his own keynote, we felt very inspired to follow a Salesforce-like model. For the people who know me outside of this world, they know that I am obsessed with the Salesforce community model and the way that they highlight their community and the whole trailblazer model. It's been something that I've looked up to for years.
Hang on, is that why I got this job? Because I used Salesforce as a major example during my interview process?
Obviously.
It's all making sense.
You know what's
sense.
good. You know what's good. Your standards are the same as mine. I need my team to know what we're looking up towards. So in the past years, we've always tried to find this healthy balance between showcasing and spotlighting our community members and the amazing things that they're doing, but also what we're doing for them, right? We have a huge team. Our team's built out of 16 people globally that are working for an 800,000+ community of members and users. So at the end of the day, we wanted to understand how we could make sure that people were excited and felt loved and honored and, get out of that session with a warm heart, but at the same time know that this team that is working tirelessly, I have been losing some of my hair. Eliza knows that I won't shut up about it because my anxiety has been through the roof. But in a good way, though.
Yeah.
You're
We
so
just want to make
worth
this
it.
awesome.
I'm looking at the camera because you're so worth it. It's like L'Oreal. I'm not worth it. You are. And it's been very, very fun to find that healthy balance. But this year, we wanted to do a very overarching, complete keynote. So we wanted to get everyone that has been involved in working for the developer community and within the community to be a part of the keynote. So it wasn't just Miguel anymore. It wasn't just our team anymore. We brought in 6 speakers, both internal and external. So we had people from our digital team that are building, our online properties, the community forums, the Forge, our documentation, our training, talking about the agents that we're building for our developers to make them more productive, more fast, more efficient, and happier to work for. We had our customer talking about business impact, that investing in developers and investing in upskilling and accelerating seniority of their teams looks like. We had a nonprofit going up on stage showing, the wonderful things that OutSystems is doing by volunteers, right? And we had a community member, which we are calling the AI hero, Tiago, who you already interviewed yesterday.
Yeah.
I saw him here right before the keynote. Talk about how he built out this journey of becoming an AI developer. So all of this, first of all, juggling Miguel Baltazar, VP of Developers, who will be here on stage, is not easy. He has a lot of ideas. He always wants to do all the things and wants to talk about everything.
Yeah.
Plus 6 speakers was somewhat traumatizing. A huge learning experience, but I've been getting such positive feedback.
Yes.
It was just so rewarding, and
Yeah.
it was all worth it. I hope none of you can see my dark circles. There's a lot of makeup here, but all of the very long nights and long months of work were
All worth it.
Worth it.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they were amazing.
I've been trying to get it out of the video team for the past week. Do you know when our audience at home will be able to watch some of these recordings? Have they told you a date? Or they're keeping it a secret from you
She's
too?
putting me on the spot.
Uh-oh.
It's going to take a couple of months for them to roll out.
All of them, yeah.
All of them. We will be putting them out as we can. I know that keynotes are obviously priority.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a space where everything is going to live and everyone's going to be able to access it forever.
Well, I asked you when we were running through this to be very, very detailed in your responses, and you did such a good job. We are well over time, but I would love to. I would love to ask you, like from a DevRel / developer community perspective, what are your thoughts on our new CEO, Woodson?
Obsessed with him, love him,
Yeah,
live for him.
He's a cool guy.
Worship him. No, I'm kidding. Not kidding, obviously. Not kidding, but less dramatic. Woodson has been a very refreshing breath of fresh air, refreshing fresh. He brings a beginner's mindset approach to everything. He challenges our status quo. He makes us think beyond what we're used to, and I think that it's been different from what everyone was expecting. But one of the main things, if you want to know, that I really admire about Woodson is that developers are as important as customers and partners. They're literally in the same level of priority for him, and the way that he speaks about how important this community is for him has been something that makes my heart really warm, and sometimes, makes me feel like, okay, he gets it. So yeah, I think Woodson is amazing, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the company grows with him leading it.
That's amazing. Well, Andreia, thank you so much for joining
I
us.
Leave.
Yeah,
I want to stay for the entire day. I love hanging out with you guys.
Sit in the corner.
Yeah, you just hang out. But up next, we're going to have Eliza interview 2 of our champions. But first, let's take a look at all of the exciting everything that happened yesterday with a quick short video.
Welcome to One and welcome to Lisbon. I could not be more excited than to be here with all of you. This is the largest One conference ever. Thank you. Nothing that OutSystems has done as a global community would be possible without all of you.
hope you all enjoyed that video. If you want to watch it again, it is posted to the OutSystems LinkedIn if you want to really relive that exciting video we had of day one. Welcome back to the stream. I am Eliza. Now I am joined by two of our champions, Mostafa and Jesse. I'm going to have you both introduce yourselves, not only to the audience at home, but also to me, because this is our first time being in person together. So please introduce yourselves. Let's start with Mostafa.
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Mostafa Osman. I'm originally from Egypt, but I'm living and working in United Arab Emirates as OutSystems tech lead. I'm also OutSystem champion.
Very nice. And Jesse?
Yeah, I'm Jesse Dion. I'm from France. I'm a solution architect at Rocodo. And I'm coding since 20 years now and 6 years on OutSystems.
Amazing. So I asked the chat earlier to let us know where they're tuning in from. We've got someone from Brazil. I saw, hold on, I got to scroll up a little bit. It was a minute ago. Dubai, India, and then definitely some Portuguese names in the chat, but they didn't tell us where they were from. So I'm going to guess they're probably in Portugal. But we also, I know we have an American in the chat because he was there yesterday, and I remember him yesterday. So we've got people tuning in from all over. You are both community leaders in your areas of the world. I'd love for you to take a moment to say hello to them in your native language. And to the audience, if you know these champions, say hello back. And if you don't, I guess still say hello back. Mustafa?
اوكي السلام عليكم شباب اوت سيستمز في الوطن العربي. اهلا بكم في دي كودد لايف اليوم الثاني من اوت سيستمز 1 كونفرنس لشبونه البرتغال.
Awesome. Jesse?
Yeah. Bonjour à tous, and I can say also salut la commu.
Wonderful. Amazing. Thank you so much. Jesse, I heard you took a special trip to get here. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So I was thinking of not flying to get there because from France to Lisbon is just Spain away.
Yeah.
So it's quite close. So I use 3 transportation systems. Bicycle from my home, which is not Paris, but middle west of France, to Andreia, which is a French border. Then some trains in Spain, visit a bit, and some buses to get to Portugal.
Amazing. Amazing. That sounds like quite the journey. So you're both champions, and not only that, you are the 2 champions here for this conference that my entire team demanded, I'm not kidding, demanded we have on Decoded Live this year. I'd love to know what sort of brought you to be leaders in the OutSystems community. Mustafa, why don't you start?
Yeah, let me tell you about my starting journey for learning out systems 2018, about 7 years right now. So I started with 5 days boot camp. Then I started with my team to develop and start tasks for a real project that we will go live. Of course, we face some technical challenges. At this time in our area or our region, we don't have that much experts that we can reach out to ask about, let's say, best practice or any technical challenges. So that's why I tried to find something. So I found the secret key, which is OutSystem forums.
Sure.
Yeah, I inspired, by the way, by the number of experts, technical discussions, solutions they provided. So after that, I decided why not to participate in forums and sharing knowledge. But to share knowledge, I have to gain knowledge first. So I started or continue my learning journey with OutSystems, sharing my knowledge, insights, some solutions, helping in some solutions, OutSystem forums. And that's why I became OutSystem champions. And of course, I'm trying to push and raise our Middle East community as much as I can.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Jesse, how about you?
Yeah, so I've started, 6 years ago I discovered OutSystems that just arrived in France. So I think I was one of the in the first group, at least, of developers in France. So I really felt in love with OutSystems. To me, it's an amazing technology. I've worked before on others, and really, I think that's the best for developers. So I would like to spread the word, basically, and I've been asked to run the Paris user group. I'm not in Paris, but I'm still doing it remotely, and hoping to make it grow.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, speaking of user groups, I'd love for you to give a pitch to everyone to attend user groups. I made several guests do the same yesterday, so everyone watching should have a long list of reasons to join. But please let us know like why people should go in person to user groups. Jesse?
Yeah. So basically, in 2 weeks, we have a new user group. It's not a normal user group with a speaker. It's called Post One, and it's just about discussing on what we learn on conference, what we miss, and maybe someone can help us to understand. So it's really discussing about all the conferences and on all what we learn, and it's in French. So the 16th of October, if there is French speakers, come and join us.
Very cool. Mustafa?
Yeah, from my side, by the way, I love user groups so much. I love the time I spend was either preparing for user groups or attending the user group itself. I promise everyone that he will find something to love in user group. Maybe technical discussions, building connections and professional networking. If you have any issues or technical challenges or questions, I'm sure you will not go out without any answer. If you are not interested in all of that, we have food, drinks, snacks, pizza. So I promise you will have a good time with us and you will find something that you will love. So please attend user groups in your community.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Those were really good answers. Mustafa, you've been doing some mentorship sessions in Arabic with the OutSystems Mentors program.
Yes.
How's that going?
Yeah, actually, by the way, I see mentorship is one of the best ways to grow your career. And thank you for OutSystems for their partner with ADB List to make mentorship sessions available all over the world. But by my point of view, to make mentorship sessions in Arabic, I didn't find this way while I'm starting OutSystems. There is no much Arabic speaker using OutSystems at the time. So I decided to do some mentorship in Arabic because actually when you discuss some technical things with someone who talking the same language, you feel more comfortable, you build the trust, you understand each other correctly because we are using English as a second language, for example. If you are not fluent enough, maybe a small mistake in some phrases lead to misunderstanding and you will miss the whole meaning behind your question or this. So that's why I decided to do this in Arabic. And of course, if I don't have answer or the knowledge, I will go with you and have to book another session with another mentor who gave us solution or knowledge. So I'm learning also, plus you. And one of the most important things for me also, I'm building friendship from mentorship sessions with our community developers.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you both attended One Amsterdam last year. So you have the experience of every conference. We have a third day that's just for partners, champions, MVPs to have little summits. Can you tell us, without breaking your NDAs, what the experience of the Champions Summit is like? Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Champions Summit is really a really nice way to engage with the product peoples of OutSystems because we are small rooms and we discuss directly with them. So it's really a really nice way to get into the roadmap and answer direct answers to a question. So yeah, amazing. I love it.
Do you feel like the Champion Summit this year is going to be more fun or a little less negative feedback than last year? Because I feel like the vibes here are so good. I've been hearing really positive things. Do you feel like the summit is going to be more positive?
Yes, of course. I think yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, good to know. I just want to warn the team running the summit what the vibes are going to be like. I think they know it's going to be pretty good. Okay, so I have a tough one for you. One Amsterdam versus one Lisbon. Which city wins out? Go ahead.
Okay. I love Amsterdam since a very long time.
Okay.
So it's a tough one, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my first time in Lisbon, so really hard to choose. But I would say that announcement and keynotes on this year are really great. So I would maybe go to Lisbon.
Okay, so maybe the Lisbon Conference Center, transplant it into Amsterdam, and then you'd be happy.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. What about you, Mustafa?
Okay, so Amsterdam is a beautiful city.
It
but
is.
for me, Lisbon wins.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I have two reasons. By the way, sunny and warm weather for me.
Yeah.
As I born and used to live in the Middle East, so I used to this weather and I'm happy with this weather. And second thing that
I'm not.
yeah, of course, yeah. And for me, I will try, or I'm already preparing myself to visit OutSystem office tomorrow, and preparing, very excited to take
Nice.
some photos, some selfie, and make unforgettable memories there, here in Lisbon.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for being with us today. This was such a fun chat. Up next, I have Logan back in the host chair as he interviews a couple speakers. And then we're going to do trivia, so stay tuned to win some prizes right after this short video.
Well, I have so many, but this is the funniest one. So I was a team lead many years ago. I recall that we had this end of sprint meeting. I had let's say a script to show on the demo. Our CEO was on that room. Prior to starting the demo, I said, we're gonna do a demo end to end. I would like you to keep all the comments till the end. I go for the first slides. The CEO interrupts me. He made some questions. I tried to say to myself, oh no, it already started. Everyone was like looking at me. The entire room started laughing. This actually came out loud. The CEO, it should have been already started. And then I asked my colleagues, so did I really say this? And they said, yes, you said it, and so on. Yeah, I recovered from that. And by the way, I actually shared this one a few years later. I shared it with the CEO, thinking that he actually recalled that, but he didn't, so, so I'm safe.
Lisbon, Portugal. My name is Logan Braid, and developer advocate here at OutSystems, and I am joined here by two very special guests, Mariia and João? Sorry, I'm terrible with Portuguese names, but welcome to the show. Please introduce yourselves, and maybe let's start with Mariia.
Hi everyone, my name is Mariia Prybytko and I'm OutSystems developer and in Entity Data UK and I.
And my name is João Pereira, and I'm the head of OutSystems at Entity Data UK and I.
Hey, well, welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks, Logan.
Thank you.
Yesterday you gave a talk here at the conference. Can you maybe tell us the name of your session and what your session was about?
So it's a bit long, so it was building bridges.
And we were talking about the OutSystems development through junior and senior rise. So I was representing the junior point of view while Joe
I was representing the senior point of view.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you've basically been in application development for how many years?
I'm going to do 10 years with OutSystems technology next year.
Oh wow, 10 years. Without systems, but does that include all of like your other technical experience?
Yeah, so
too?
basically I started with OutSystems straight from college. And
wow.
I consider myself an OutSystems native developer because I professionally only work with OutSystems. So yeah, was that my kind of experience.
And then for you, Mariia, when did you start doing development?
I'm just a baby here because, I've started 2.5 years ago with an internship and Joe was my mentor and still is, to be honest. So I was working previously with Aaseya and technology more. So then when I moved to the UK, I was like, wow, this sounds amazing. I want to try out systems. And here I am now.
Yeah,
See?
no, I feel that because so my background is in software development too. I did it for 10 years before I transitioned to doing more community developer relations stuff. So I understand the transition from, junior dev to senior dev and some of the challenges around it. But I kind of wanted to ask you, with all of this in mind, what inspired you to focus on the perceptions of junior and senior developers for your talk?
So our own team, how we grow as a team, because it's not only Mariia, but we have a team from different experience, from some intermediate developers, other juniors, other seniors. So it's our own ecosystem as a team that inspires us to do this talk, because I think every team sometimes needs some advice. So the idea of the talk, just give some advice to other teams and to learn with mistakes as well.
I feel like it's kind of like an industry-wide, not problem, I would say, but it's just trying to when you're in school and you're transitioning into like a junior developer versus somebody who's been in industry for 10 years, there's a lot of differences in opinions and perceptions, especially when it comes to app dev. But was there something that you noticed during your own developer journeys that inspired the talk?
Yeah, I mean, when I go to the conference like that, I would always hear from the seniors, from the team leads, lots of very difficult, complicated topics, very technical. So it's like, it would be really nice to hear something from a junior who just already starting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's sometimes very complicated to be one of the, such a experienced mentors talking around you. And sometimes you just need, some advice from somebody who just started, and that maybe somebody will listen and find some ideas on how to improve from the very beginning, because it's a path. We've all been there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I noticed like during my own like developer journey, like when you're a junior dev, maybe you're like freshly out of college or you're like just starting off your career, I feel like the focus is a lot on how to use the technology, right? But maybe not necessarily the process around developing the technology with teams of people. There's very like human component, I think, to software development. And sometimes like there's a little bit of the transition of, okay, how do I, solve these problems that aren't necessarily technical? And so I feel like as a senior developer, you kind of have more experience having to deal with those issues,
and
right?
I think one of the most important things is break the barriers between the different levels inside the team. And for me, a team is a live ecosystem. So we are always evolving, learning all together. And if you work without barriers in an open and transparent way, is the best way to do it.
Yeah, exactly, right? So this I think is more of a question to you, but I think as like senior developers, we often get caught up with like teaching junior developers, right? We're trying to instill knowledge and instill like the process of things. But without spoiling your talk, what's one lesson that you noticed that senior developers could maybe learn from somebody who's like a junior developer?
Yeah, no spoilers, because we already had the feedback from yesterday and was really good. So in my perspective, I think is you need to be the mentor. You wanted someone to be with you, and is what I'm trying to pass to my team. So I'm trying to be the mentor to them that I like, and fortunately I've lucky to have as a more junior developer as well.
Yeah. Is there something that you've maybe learned from Mariia that you didn't know being like a senior developer even?
Like I said, I was always very transparent with my team. So even when I commit a mistake, I'm the first team. I commit this mistake. Let's work together and let's find the solution.
Yeah, the ownership side of it.
But I will let Mariia saying their opinion on that one to not be biased.
Yeah. I mean, it's never like in a competition. We need to remember that, because we are all one team. We're working towards one specific project. So it's never like, oh, I'm junior, I've done just a tiny bit, or I'm senior, I'm doing all the work. So it's we as a team have done lots of nice, innovative things. So it's amazing. I mean, I couldn't even dream about better mentor. I mean, learning from the best, what could be better?
Hey, there you go. See, that's a glowing review right there.
Yeah, of course.
So, Mariia, what's maybe like one of the most important lessons that you've learned as a junior developer from your mentor?
It's been open and explore the new ideas, and also like in terms of the questions, you never you never go to your mentor and say like, oh, I have no idea, it's not working. You just need to do some research before. You need to do some debugging. You need to dig in, like ask ChatGPT or something like that. Google something, and then if you can't find, you can just go and ask. Oh, I've tried that. I understand that the problem is somewhere here. I just can't quite get it where. Then you can get some advice. So and more about the planning before development. We had some conversations with JP, so I had to take like a paper and plan on the paper, not just like, oh, I think it's gonna work like that. No, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
So you have to, do this strategic thinking, which is very difficult for a junior from the very beginning, but then when you start learning, you're just like, yes, this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
Even if it takes more time sometimes.
Right? Because it's sometimes more about the lesson, right? Necessarily than the answer.
Absolutely, yes.
I know, I feel like it's really good advice, because when I was a junior developer and I would run into those issues, the first thing, right out of college, I'd be like, senior developer, help me solve this problem, right? Yeah. And the reality is like as developers, it's our job to solve problems. And so that was probably, I mean, it's a hard lesson to learn when a senior's like, no, you need to like go research this. Like go look up how you would solve it, at least attempt it, and then come to me if you're having like an issue, right?
I can say I'm a bit bossy in terms of the planning. So for me, it's old school. You need a pen and paper to actually plan something. I think it's the best way and will always be the best way to do it.
Oh yeah, just put trial by fire. Here's the deadline. Like, if you don't think you can hit it, or you hit the what's it called the drop dead point, then come to me and be like, hey, how do I
But
solve
you need
this?
to do this research first. This is how you learn. If you don't do it, how different it would be next time. So this is very important. And the paper thing really works. At least for me as a junior developer, yeah.
And I want to say, I think that's one of the reasons why like I chose your talk specifically was because when it comes to like junior and senior developers, I always feel like there's never the talk of like the actual team cohesiveness, even at tech conferences. And so being able to like have that talk, have that discussion, like would help overall like the development teams that, you know, are in the trenches every day to help with like collaboration, cohesiveness. But what is the impact that you notice from junior and senior developers building bridges in the workplace?
So it's all about working together and don't have barriers. Be honest, to be fair, because honesty, and don't forget one important thing, the human factor. So not every person is the same, so you need to adapt. Like I said, it's a live ecosystem. You need to adapt to each person to see how something works with her, something not works with her. So we need to always constantly learning and evolving, I think, is the best way to continue pushing to the limits.
Yeah. True. What have you noticed?
I mean, obviously, the more you talk, the more advice you get from other people, the quicker you grow. So I've noticed as soon as I got my first ever like real project, the growth just sped up. Because you get the real life experience from collaboration. This is not something that you can get from doing the courses. You get the technical base, yes, of course, and it's very important, but the real life examples and obviously being more innovative in terms of the doing things like slightly different way than it's like in the book or in the videos that we've watched before. I think this is the main thing that I've noticed.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good to notice. So I know we're running close on time here. We've got a few seconds left. Do you have any parting thoughts for any of our viewers?
So for me, is lead by example.
Yeah.
I think is the best motto. Lead by example and be completely honest. Even as a senior or junior, even if you commit a mistake, just be open and transparent.
Yeah.
That is my key message on this.
Yeah, right. Learn from your team. Even learn from junior developers as a senior and senior to junior. Yeah,
I mean, for me, it's be open to the feedback and be proactive. Never wait for somebody to give you some work or some advice. You have to be rushing this progress. You have to be eager to learn something new, to do some more development, to get some more tasks, to get some more advice from everyone. So yeah, this is, I think this is the main thing, how you grow.
That's incredible. So now I've been asking everybody, because all of us as developers, I think, have personal projects or side projects or even like your work on building bridges. Is there any, where can the audience find your work? Like if you guys are working on independent projects or anything like that.
So they can follow so we got a case study with OutSystems that me and Mariia build up a product in entity data for insurance. So, and of course follow our LinkedIn, especially mine, because being MVP OutSystems user groups is the best way to follow me. And if you have any questions, just ping me out and I will open to answer.
We're always open to any questions. Yeah, contact us on LinkedIn, anywhere that you can find us. Yeah, would be amazing to connect.
Well, that's incredible. Mariia, João, thank you so much for joining us. I'm looking forward to seeing a recording of your talk later. Up next, we're going to have trivia, so stay tuned. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're going to have a quick break, and during this break, we're going to do some live trivia. So, of course, it's just like yesterday, but if you didn't join in yesterday, please scan the QR code, set up a Slido account, and with this, you can actually win some pretty cool prize packs. The thing to remember is that there's going to be 2 winners. They're going to be selected randomly from any of the entrants today. You don't have to necessarily win the trivia to get this. But if you do win, you get bragging rights for the rest of the OutSystems community. So be sure to try to be the top of that leaderboard and check it out. We had a pretty good turnout yesterday. And of course, I think this time I'm going to be monitoring the chat. So if there's anything you want to chat about as we're answering questions, feel free to put it in there and I will take a look at it. But I'm going to give us a couple of more seconds for everybody to sign up and sign in. We have a lot more time than yesterday, but I'll try to do my best to pace this as best as I can. But with this, there's going to be 5 questions all about OutSystems. And let's see how we do. So we got a couple people in. I think we have roughly 10 to 20 people already. We had a turnout of 30 yesterday, so let's keep it going. See, Gonçalo, Dion. We got Fran. All right, couple more seconds. Diojo. Okay, gonna do a countdown here. We're gonna do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's jump into it. So we're gonna go to the next slide here. All right, so when was OutSystems founded? Was it 1989? Was it 1995? Was it 2001? Or was it 2018? So we'll jump to our first question there. All right, you should see it on your screens. All right. And this time we got 90 seconds to answer. So be sure you get a lot of time if you want to even research it. Just don't tell me about it. Don't. All right. Oh, we got a lot coming in. Oh, let's see. Oh, I got a question. Okay. Hello, is there a possibility to attend low-code quality testing related event or workshop happening at 1? I believe there is. That's from Jason. I would say check our website at 1 and you will see more information about that. Oh, Jared put in founding date was part of my sales pitch to U.S. companies. Oh. So you got a little inside knowledge there. All right, we're coming in. We got 18 seconds left. 10. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's reveal the answer. The answer, of course, is 2001, with 94% of the field coming in at that 2001. So let's go ahead and see who's winning. Oh, we got Jared. It's because Jared had the inside knowledge. He knew about it from his presentation. All right, let's go to the next question. What did OutSystems launch at 1 in 2024? Was it Watson, Agent Workbench, Ionitron, or Mentor? Oh, here we go. And of course, if you're just joining in on the live stream, you can totally join this trivia time. Just go ahead and scan the QR code, and you will be a part of the trivia session. Oh, it's coming all across the field here. I think there's a little bit of a debate. What was announced last year? And I will say, just a reminder, this is for 2024 and not this year, 2025. Hint, hint. right. Here we go. We got 30 seconds left. You got a lot of time to put in here, but I don't see anyone else answering, so you might cut this a little bit short so we can keep on time here. All right, I'll give you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're done. Let's go ahead and call it. What is the answer? With 80% coming in, it is mentor. Yes, that is the correct answer. And we currently have Abhinav, sorry if I mispronounce your name, in the lead. Oh, actually, no, it's a straight tie, I think. It's a tie between Jared and Abhinav. So let's go ahead and move on to our next question. All right. What went into general availability during 2025? Is it Watson, Agent Workbench, Ionitron, or Mentor? And of course, as you can tell, it is the same answers as the last question. So you might be able to knock out one of these. Let's see what we're coming in at. Oh. Looks like it's between Mentor and Agent Workbench. Coming in. Still got answers coming in. Oh, we got a few more. All right, we are at, here we go, 10 seconds left. Oh, everybody's changing their answers. I see it moving. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and lock in those answers. And we'll do a reveal. Of course, it is Agent Workbench. Yes, that was actually announced on the main keynote stage, and we've talked about it multiple times over the last 2 days. So let's see who's in the lead. Oh, we still have Abhinav and Jared. Oh, Abhinav seems to have gone into first, though. He answered it 2 seconds faster than Jared. Let's go ahead and move on to our next question, which is, what major announcement did OutSystems recently make about 011? Of course, as you know, there's been a lot of talk about 011 and ODC, and we made one major announcement, actually multiple major announcements about it. But there's one I'm thinking of. Is it 011 indefinite life extension? Is it continuing investments in 011? AI feature integration from ODC? Or is it all of the above? Seems like it's a little bit of contention between two. I don't want to point out what it is. Not yet. And actually in the chat, if you guys want to, are you excited about some of these changes or major announcements that were announced with 011? Let me know. Okay. Still got some answers coming in. I'm going to do 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to lock in. Here we go. Reveal the answer. Of course, it is all the above. You're going to be getting all of those things now with 011, which is incredible, and we are super happy about that. And of course, because it came from you developers, so thank you for all the feedback. Let's move on. Actually see the leaderboard. All right, so we have Abhinav still in first, who answered just slightly faster than Jared again. So it seems like it's pretty, we're in some contention here. Next question. All right, and this is our last question. What is included in the newly launched OutSystems Personal Edition? Is it access to ODC, being free? Access to Agent Workbench, free? Access to trial LLMs, free? Or is it all of the above? Here we go. We got all of the answers coming in. Again, seems like there's a little bit of contention. All right. Coming in, see if all the answers are here. All right, 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's lock those in. All right, and we will reveal the answer, which of course is all of the above. You get all of those things with the OutSystems Personal Edition. So let's go ahead and reveal who the winner of our trivia session is. Oh, it looks like it's Abhinav. He came out, but most of you guys got the answers correct. It was all the timing, so that is incredible. But, of course, wonderful job, everyone. We'll pick out the winners of both trivia sessions for the exclusive prize packs, and we'll, of course, be doing at least 2 of those per day, plus an extra chance to win that we'll email you about. And up next, I'll have 2 more speakers joining me for a chat, and they'll be on after these 2 short videos. Hello and welcome to the OutSystems YouTube channel. My name is Logan Braid. I'm a developer advocate here at OutSystems. In this video, we'll be setting up 2 ODC projects to show off my animated Neo model. The first one, a VR project using A-Frame and the built-in HTML element component in ODC, and 2, an AR project that uses A-Frame, ARJS, and the HTML Inject Forge component from our friends at Product League. Let's jump into it. Paste it. Oh, gotta make sure that that is formatted correctly. There we go. So the next thing we need to do is run our project to make sure that everything's working correctly. Show off our hero tag and see if it works. There we go. And we have Neo moving in our AR application.
Want to see a magic trick? Learn how to use your app's data model to create a fully functioning UI in seconds in this OutSystems tech tip. Here we have a venue entity in OutSystems. It has defined attributes like ID and name, each with a set data type and whether or not the property is mandatory. I've added some placeholder data for this entity already. OutSystems knows that when working with data, the most common use cases are viewing, creating new, and updating existing data. We can automatically generate UI screens for these operations by simply dragging and dropping our entity into the UI canvas. Just like that, we have 2 screens. Let's publish and take a look. We have 1 screen to view our data. Our other screen serves 2 purposes, to add a new venue or edit an existing one. Because it's built directly from our data model, there is built-in form validation based on the data type and required state for each property. If you like what you see, make sure to like and subscribe.
Open, we'll close it, we'll open it, close it, open it, we'll close it, and then we'll go ahead and stop it. And then we will run our animation. Go back, it'll then replay back the animation that we just did.
Here are my favorite things about Mentor. Mentor's out, a new AI for you to play with and improve your OutSystems projects. I've been having a lot of fun with it, so let's see my favorite things about it. You start by inputting your prompt and your document, and the first thing that Mentor App Generator will do is to create a data model that then you can customize. It analyzes your environment and finds connections to external systems like Oracle or Salesforce. Let Johnny worry about the Salesforce configuration. You can also use the data model from other applications, repurposing data from your environment. Or let Mentor do its magic and generate new entities, new attributes that then you can customize. Stay tuned for more favorite features about Mentor.
Hello and welcome back. I'm joined here by 2 really important guests, and I wanted to actually talk about this before we talk to them, but I think one of the cool parts about my job is I get to talk about really important topics, I think, that are important for the developer community. And these guys had a really important session and talk that I really wanted to highlight. David, Joris are here to join me. Welcome to the show. Could you please introduce yourselves, and maybe let's start with David.
Yeah, I'm David. I'm an OutSystems developer from the Netherlands. I'm from Transfer Solutions, doing OutSystems for more than almost 4 years. And I'm I'm here to talk together with Joris.
Yours? Yeah.
Yeah, hi, I'm Joris. I am a front-end developer as well as a UX designer. Been doing that for around 6 years.
Oh, incredible.
Also transfer solutions.
Yeah. Coincidentally.
No, that's incredible. So I don't know if you guys have given your talk yet or if it's in the next few hours. Can you maybe tell us the name of your session and what it's about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's inclusive by default. So it's about compliance to the European Accessibility Act, which enforces companies with public-facing applications to be complying to accessibility levels.
Yeah. No, that's incredible. I mean, I think even developers in the US, like I'm a developer from the US, we always have to talk about inclusivity and making our applications more open to everybody. It's a hugely important topic, and I feel like it's a topic that is really overlooked, which is kind of strange.
Yeah.
But we're streaming to an international audience, so I was wondering, would you be able to maybe explain like the high level of the EAA and how it impacts developers?
Yeah. So in short, the EAA, the European Accessibility Act, in short, it impacts applications that are customer-facing. So
Yeah.
you could think of e-commerce, you could think of restaurant booking sites, and what it says is that these applications should be usable and accessible to people no matter their impairments.
Yeah. So, like, in your guys' developer journeys, like, what are some like apps that you've created, or like some of the problems that you've encountered when trying to make applications more inclusive?
Yeah, I think you're the
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at David because this whole idea sort of started because of one of his use cases. But you'll have to quiz him on that later.
We're both working on a public-facing application, of course.
Yeah.
So that's where it came up. I asked my company, or my client, have you thought about accessibility? Since there's a new regulation since June this year that you need to comply to, otherwise you risk fines and lawsuits. And then they said, okay, accessibility, you what?
Yeah. So, what do you mean accessibility? What do you mean we have to do this?
So that's where the idea came from, and then together with Joris, we found it out, and that's the idea.
Yeah, and speaking for myself, I'm working for a project for a municipality. So since it's government related, they, on the other hand, were the ones to say, okay, one of our many, standards for the product you're making is that it complies to the WCAG.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that often gets overlooked with inclusive apps and making sure that like everybody can use them is I think as developers we can all focus in on and say like we want more people to use our applications.
Yep.
Right? It's not even necessarily about people, like we want a whole broad reach of people being able to use stuff, and being inclusive helps with us like essentially getting more people to use our applications too.
Yep.
So, what exactly inspired you to develop a talk on inclusive applications?
I think,
I already said a little bit with we both have a customer-facing application.
Yeah.
But still, we also found out that by increasing the accessibility, complying to the rules, you create a better app in general. So that's actually a main thing that everyone benefits from. So that's an important part.
Yeah, in addition to me personally, a number of my friends have some issues in daily life because of their neurodiversity.
Yeah.
So they have limited energy, and when you spend time in those circles, you realize that you sort of look at the world in a different way.
Yeah.
You see oh yeah, this thing that is annoying to me can be sort of means that for someone, for some people, it means they can't do anything for the rest of their day because they spent all their energy on, a noisy background or a noisy environment.
Yeah.
And then you realize oh yeah, there's ways that we can make the environments that people come across in their daily lives more friendly to people.
Exactly.
And that goes for the digital space as well.
Yeah. Well, and I can relate to that, right? Like, I feel like once you have someone in your life who deals with these challenges, you start realizing that the world is kind of built for able-bodied people, and not necessarily like to people who are experiencing those types of troubles. And so, like, you start thinking about the world, like, how can I make it better for the people that I care about or the people in my life to, like, make, their lives easier. And, like, apps are a great way to do that, and, like, being able to incorporate that into our apps, I just think it helps people.
Yeah, it does.
In your experiences on creating inclusive applications, what are some of the most common challenges that you see, maybe, like, industry-wide when making inclusive applications?
Yeah. I've been thinking about this for a bit. The thing is that there are some, technical things you need to learn, and we go over them in our talk. But I think the bigger challenge is to incorporate it in your workflow. In convincing your team or your stakeholders that this is worth spending time on.
Yeah.
Just like general, if there's a UX issue. For me, as a UX designer, that's hugely important.
Yeah.
But then, you have to prioritize and you have to go live in a month. So how do you make people spend time on that? Make sure that we do make the effort to make it a more kind application.
Yeah. Well, I think I know, like, in my personal experience doing app development, it's, there's an idea, there's a vision of what the app should look like.
Yep.
And sometimes, like, when you're trying to make more inclusive applications, it means changing that vision of what people expected the app to be. And it's like,
sometimes.
Yeah, and it's challenging to sometimes get stakeholders to be like, no, we have to think about this. We have to make sure that we're doing not only, like, the right thing, but also like, and we're doing things to help get more people to use our applications. But actually, I want to kind of cycle back. You were talking about, we kind of hinted at a project that you were working on. Can you tell us a little bit more about that application and, like, the inclusivity side of that app that you're working on?
Yeah, it's also for municipalities in the Netherlands. It's like a combined organization that all municipalities can access and get information about. And now going to be difficult because it's all in Dutch.
No, it's okay.
So to rate the price of a home, and all kinds of universities, like, you have homes everywhere, but university or schools on separate places. So they created a system that municipalities can look at each other to see, how expensive was it to build your school.
Yeah,
we can check upon that, and then compare it to our own place and help them that way.
Yeah. Well, and
it's a bit difficult to explain. But I hope,
well, especially because, like, we have an international audience, right?
Yeah.
Like, trying to maybe explain it to an American audience, like, well, I don't understand, like, why you need to necessarily do that. But I think, like, anyone can get behind it. It's important to be able to do that and do it in a way that everybody can access it. Because if I have, like, if I can't access it because of a disability, or, like, there's a reason why I can't access this application, well, I wouldn't be able to see that data that is important to my daily, that's important to my life.
Yeah, that's
general,
what
right?
with our client. It needs to be publicly available what the costs were for a school or for certain.
Yeah,
that's why
exactly.
everybody needs to be able to access it.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. So now, we do have a few seconds left. Now we're running short on time. Do you have any parting thoughts for our viewers about inclusivity and building inclusive applications?
Whole lot to say. Difficult to filter it down to a few seconds.
Yeah. I mean, you can expand. We got enough time.
Okay.
Go for it.
No, what I think is interesting to mention is that it's something we focus on as well, is that when you think of impairments, you often think of people who are blind or who are deaf, and there's also something to be said for temporary impairments, like situational impairments. Like, if I've broken my wrist and I can't use a mouse for a month, am I still able to use your application?
Yeah.
Which might be very important to my work or my life. So I think it's a good way to realize like this can be relevant to you too. This is broader than just a few people. And even if it is for just a few people, you know, it's let's be inclusive. That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any parting thoughts? Or
Yeah, a little bit the same, of course. Accessibility is good for everyone. But yeah, for people who really rely on the accessibility features, it really makes a difference, and that's a good thing to keep in mind. So not only for public-facing applications, also for all kinds of applications. If you increase the accessibility, you increase the user experience in general.
Yeah.
No. If I learn one thing from that experience with the first friends that I mentioned, is that sometimes kindness takes more effort.
Yeah.
And the point is to make that effort.
No, it's good.
To do that. Yeah.
That's a good message, and I'm glad that you said that.
Yeah.
You know, that is true. That is a very true statement. But do you guys, when it comes to your work with inclusivity and your talk, where can we find like details of that work? Do you guys have any like personal projects that you're working on that you can share? Like where can our audience find what you guys are up to?
Yeah, we share a lot on our site or on LinkedIn. I also published a blog about accessibility. So yeah, you can look at search it up on my LinkedIn, I would say.
Okay.
And of course, go to the session.
Yeah, absolutely. The session, yeah.
It will be recorded, so someday it will be online, and then you can rewatch it. Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, Joris, David, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Next up, we're going to have OutSystems co-founder Rodrigo Coutinho, who will join Eliza for a chat. But first, a gorgeous animation that I actually created myself of Neo to cover this break. Yep. Hello, welcome back to Decoded Live from One. You are once again stuck with me as host. Logan has stepped away to hopefully grab some lunch. I am joined now by Rodrigo, Logan's boss. So again, if you have things to say about Logan's performance, if they're positive, put them in the chat. If they are not positive, keep them to yourself. Rodrigo, welcome back to Decoded Live. The audience may recognize you, but please introduce yourself.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. So my name is Rodrigo. I'm one of the co-founders of OutSystems, and I am the head of AI advocacy. So currently I'm doing my best to spread out the word around AI and to make all the community use agents for their benefit. Amazing, amazing. So you are an OutSystems co-founder. What were the early days like? Very different from today. So it was the usual startup story where we start in a garage. So there were 5 of us. It was a literal garage that we rented in the outskirts of Lisbon. We had the whole 10 square feet of space for ourselves, packed with secretaries and a few computers that we used to develop the first version of the platform. And it was a lot of fun. It was tough because the room did not have any windows. So by late afternoon, the oxygen levels were low, but the energy was high. So it was super interesting to do with that small team. Something that actually, if you look at the screenshots from that time, you will recognize some of the things that you see today. So we really paved the way for the platform.
Absolutely.
It was challenging. I mean, getting those first customers is always tough, but I'm proud to say that the first customer we got in 2002, so less than a year before we started, after we started, it's still with us. So they're still a customer for 24 years. So that shows how impactful the platform has been.
Amazing. So, what was the original goal of the platform when you started?
The idea was always to finally make software projects on time and on budget. So this was a constant frustration. Paulo Rosado, one of the founders and former CEO, he had this big frustration that whenever he tried to deliver a project, it was always late, it was always over budget, and he knew because Paulo, before OutSystems, had founded another company, so he faced the same challenges. And our goal was, we need to fix this, because how is it possible that an industry that was supposed to be state-of-the-art and very modern and all of that still had the same problems that old industries have in terms of unpredictability. And so that was the major goal, is how can we make software development more predictable? And then, of course, this evolved a long time, and right now our big goal is to allow everybody to innovate through software, and I think I love that mission. So it's something, it really gives me a pleasure to wake up every day and do it.
That's amazing. So, doing the math, you've been here for 25 years. How do you keep yourself, I guess, from being bored with your work at OutSystems?
So it might... I'm lucky because even though I've been working for the same company for almost 25 years, I've been having a lot of different jobs. So I started as a developer. That was my first role. And I did the usual career progression, manage a small team because, well, we were small, so there was no big team to manage. And then I moved on to manage a bigger team. And then I realized I liked to experiment new things, and so I decided to change at that time. After managing most of the engineering team, I went also to give help to support. So I was in the maintenance and support team. It was a great way to contact customers and understand the challenges they were having with the platform and all of that. Later on, I moved to marketing. So. And there were two reasons for that. One of them is I felt I knew all the technical challenges, but not the business challenges. And I thought it would be a good idea to improve the product to be aware of that. But also because I was actually, I had stage panic. So I could not talk in public. So I thought I need to fix this. And so the best way is to just do presentations and go to marketing. And that's what I did. So I was put in front of a lot of audiences, doing presentations, doing demos, and now I can be here talking with you.
You're a pro now.
So I continue my career. I've been in PM, and right now I'm in DevRel, which is a lot of fun.
Yes, it is fun. You've been a leader on the DevRel team for about a year now. I think we hadn't officially moved you over last year at one, but the decision had been made.
Correct.
So this is your first one on the DevRel team. How's the journey been?
Oh my God, it's been great. It's really, it's so much fun to be able first to be with our community. I think we are very, very lucky in the community we have. We have people with an amazing technical quality. So the expertise that they have and the types of things they know, I keep learning with them about product utilization, about new technologies, about the way they solve business issues. So that's amazing. It's been really a pleasure to do that and to be able to go to events like Dev Days or the user groups. And I always have a lot of fun and I learn a lot. But most of all, then this role of AI evangelist, let's call it like that, it's also been super interesting because you have conversations with our community about the possibilities that they have about using these new things, and you see light bulbs going on. and I really love that part. Of course, I also have an amazing team.
Yes.
That helps a lot. So it's always best when you work with such an enthusiastic and fun team. So it's been great. It's been an amazing year. So
Yeah.
I'm very thankful.
Well, we're so glad to have you. Speaking of user groups, I think the folks listening on the stream, if you were here yesterday, you might be a little bit sick of me bringing up the New York City user group, which if you're in the U.S. and can get to New York, you should go to them. They're very fun. A few months ago, you joined us to give a very early demo of Agentic Workbench. It's now in GA, and Woodson, let me get this phrasing right, told us yesterday that all customers who put an agent into production before the end of the year will get a waiver for access through the length of their OutSystems license. For those unfamiliar with it, could you give an overview of Workbench's capabilities and what's exciting about it?
Oh yeah, sure. And it was a lot of fun to be able to show it such an early stage in New York. So the idea is to make your life as easy as possible when you are trying to use AI in your applications. And so you just build a new type of application that we call an agent. So it's a first-class citizen in the platform. And then you have all the typical work done for you. So then it's very easy because you just need to fill in the blanks. And you have the first part where you get to do the grounding of the data that you need for the agent. And here, of course, you can use all types of data that you can think of. You can connect with O11, which was announced now, and I'm very excited because now you can use O11 data just as if it was ODC data. Or you can use ODC data, or you can connect to external systems, you can connect to vector databases, whatever. The data is your oyster, and you can just go ahead, grab all of these pieces of data to give the AI whatever information it might need to give a good response. Now, once that's done, and that's very well encapsulated, so it's properly signaged and everything, it's very easy to do. Then what you do is you set up the messages. This is kind of like the prompt, and you have two types of prompts. You have the system prompt where you are saying to the agent, look, you are going to be a very well-behaved agent. You'll be nice, and you'll act as a insurance agent, that type of things. Kind of setting the mood for the agent and giving the basic rules. And then you send the question from the user, which you may just send the question directly, or you can transform it too. So very easy to do. And finally, all the parts of storing the historical information are done for you, so no need to worry about that, which means if you have a chat, the bot will remember the conversation as it's answering. And then there's this very exciting bit, which is you can pick whatever model you want to call, and we make it super easy to call actions. So it's very easy in the platform to tell the agent, look, if you need to book some vacation, here's the action you need to use. If you need to query more data because you need more information, here's the action you can use. And this is so simple, it's a pleasure to use. So now I'm super curious to see what the community will do with Agent, because we've announced the personal edition, so everybody can go and try them out. So now it's all a matter of the use cases, and so curious to see what will happen.
I don't want any of our stream users to stream viewers to disappear, but you are able to just go to outsystems.com and get yourself going on ODC and Workbench right now. I actually want to call out a comment we got from LinkedIn, but you have your privacy settings so that I don't know what your name is, and I'm going to put it on the screen for once because I forgot this was a feature. In 2018, I stood outside a hotel with Rodrigo, a stone throw away from the UK OutSystems office. I said, imagine if we integrated AI into the platform. The legend delivered.
Thank you so much. And now we're super excited to see what you'll do with it.
Absolutely.
So share your use case with us, and let's see what the magic is.
Absolutely. So let's talk AI. You're a bit of an expert for our team. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about, I guess, the future of AI app development.
Okay. So, we've been focusing on using AI on the applications, but of course everybody wants to use AI to develop the applications too. And it's a very exciting time to do so. Of course, we already had quite a few capabilities on the platform. We started this investigation route for AI way back in the day in 2018, so even before LLM was even a word or a thing. And what we've been doing is we've been adding these capabilities, but always with the notion that development is not just about writing code. Right. There's a lot of stuff to do besides that part, right? So we are seeing, of course, a lot of tools popping up that are very good for building prototypes or having that first version of the application just to try it out. But we want to go further. We want to actually have enterprise-grade developer, production-ready application once you finish the interaction with AI. And so that's what we've been building with Mentor. You can already use it, of course, and build your applications, and it's been growing. So the team keeps adding new patterns that you can use in your applications, and of course, we are adding new ways also of you to communicate with the platform and ask for new stuff. So I'm very excited to see where this is heading, because I think it will truly change the way developers will create code. So now, instead of being all picky and all, you can just describe what you want, but also with the interaction with the visual environment. So instead of having to explain in 25 sentences exactly what you want, you can just point at the place and ask it to change it, and it will be so much easier. So this combination of low code with AI-assisted development, I think it's going to be magical.
Amazing. Well, the previous commenter identified themselves. His name, I'm going to butcher this, Diep Maru.
Oh, Diep Maru.
Okay.
Hi.
Wonderful. Okay.
I know exactly who he is. Diep, we miss you. You should have been here.
Yes, come to the conference. Okay, so we have talked a lot on the stream about the level of excitement and energy at this conference with our I think 6 major announcements during the keynote. That's got to break a record. What are you hearing from the crowd so far?
Yeah, so definitely the energy has been the first thing everybody mentions. It's like the entire energy that's been going on stage, in the keynote, in all the sessions, and how that transpired to the audience. So it kind of permeated, and everybody's super excited. Of course, the good news also helped, yes. but it's not only that. It's really there's this positive vibe and this belief that this launch will really make everyone's life better, both from the AI standpoint, the unification standpoint. It's gonna be great. There was also a lot of mentions that it was a very focused conference, in the sense that, I mean, there's so much things going on. It's hard sometimes to pinpoint exactly what the problem is and what to do, but we've managed to do that and direct people on the right path. So I think the fact that we have focused on the AI message was yes. very helpful. And we are seeing the result of this in the conversations that we are having on lunch breaks and everything. It's been amazing. And finally, of course, the unification. Yeah. So that's something everybody mentions because they've been hearing about ODC and they want to try it for so long now. But there was this kind of barrier because they're still 11, and now the fact that you can use them together as a single platform, it's going to be game changer. Really now cool. They can finally try it. They can have the personal. They can go tweak, play, and then build something that connects with the applications they already have. Yeah. So that's been the top 3 things that I'm hearing
absolutely.
at the event.
Yeah, I just want to say the focus on AI is really fun because obviously that's been at least partially a focus for the past 2 years, but I was just talking to Joris, one of the previous guests, about the difference between this year and 2 years ago, and he said this year is so much more exciting because all of the talks about AI have really cool use cases. 2 years ago, it was like, look what it could do. And this year is like, look what it is doing. This is amazing. So yeah, it's really exciting. Well, Rodrigo, thank you so much for joining us. It has been great to catch up. I will probably talk to you several more times today because you're on the same team as me. But thank you again.
I hope so. Thank you so much for having me.
Next up, we have another OutSystems champion joining us. And I'll just shout out that this OutSystems champion joining us shortly got the most reactions of all our guests for the stream on LinkedIn. So I'm hoping there's lots of fans of his in the audience. But that will be just after this video. Please stay tuned.
The future is agentic. Early adopters are already seeing the impact. AI agents that reason, plan, and act are driving real gains in revenue, cost savings, and productivity. Still, 90% of organizations are stuck in pilot mode, slowed by complexity, limited talent, and fear of risk. OutSystems Agent Workbench changes that. It enables you to create custom agents that streamline operations, elevate experiences, and grow revenue, all on the AI-powered, low-code platform made for enterprise innovation. Unify data across systems for relevant, accurate agent responses. Build, customize, and scale with a complete agentic toolset, integrated into a single platform with no extra tooling required. Deploy AI agents with trust, security, and compliance. Design intelligent systems where humans and AI work together to achieve critical business outcomes. Monitor in real time with built-in visibility and governance to track reasoning, response quality, and operational costs. Imagine the impact of multi-agent orchestration across your enterprise. An onboarding agent guides new hires, while a compliance agent verifies documents, boosting day one productivity. A renewal agent monitors upcoming expirations and vendor performance, then delegates to a negotiation agent to renew or renegotiate terms automatically. An intake agent receives and delegates consumer reports to investigation and policy agents for rapid assessment. You don't need an AI team to get started. You just need an AI platform built for what's next. With OutSystems Agent Workbench, you can create custom agents to fuel enterprise innovation now. The future won't wait. Neither should you.
Welcome back to Decoded Live from One. I am your wonderful host, Eliza. That was a great video about OutSystems Mentor. Again, don't leave the stream, please. But if you wanted to, you could go use it right now. It is in general availability and included in the ODC Personal Edition, which we just launched yesterday. Well, joining me today is Tushar, which, again, I just said this, but he was not in the room. So I'll say again, you were the guest who got the most reactions about your appearance on Decoded, so I'm really excited to have you. Welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself.
So I'm Tushar. I head the OutSystems practice for Aaseya and come from a fairly technical background, take care of the global delivery and the solutions architecture. When I'm not working, you'll either see me on my motorcycle ride somewhere in the mountains, and have been a lifelong Manchester United fanboy and a football fanboy.
Okay. All right, any other Manchester United fans in the chat, let us know if you're the rival. What's the rival team to Manchester United?
Liverpool fans can just stay away.
Liverpool fans, you can go try out Mentor right now. So we have quite a few people tuning in from India today. Would you like to say hi?
It's the biggest community.
It is.
On the globe. So I think we both should say hi to them.
Okay. I'm ready.
You want to repeat after me?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's just say namaste.
Namaste.
आपका स्वागत है.
Oh no.
आपका
स्वागत
है.
Hey.
हमारे podcast में.
Podcast में.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, I didn't do bad. I am famously terrible at pronouncing names, so pronouncing anything else, quite a struggle. So I'm proud of myself there. What did you just say to the audience?
Sorry?
What's the translation to what you just said?
It's just welcome to my podcast.
Oh,
Namaste is how we greet in India.
Yes, of
so
course.
We started with that.
Very nice. All right, so what sort of work does Aaseya do?
So Aaseya is an organization. We are a low-code specialty organization with around 650 people working on 2 platforms, one out of it being OutSystems, around 160 people just in OutSystems, around 700 certifications, all those things, delivering projects across the globe, US, UK, other parts of Europe, Australia, Middle East, India, anything you call it, we are there.
Yeah.
So that's what we do.
Very cool. Yeah, we did sort of an analysis on the data we have on both developers and customers. And India is a huge part of our community because so many partners are there working for other priority markets, both locally and across the world. So, yeah, and I will also say India also has the biggest user group. So, well done for that. And I believe our biggest ever Dev Day. Yeah, it was huge. So a couple months ago, you posted on LinkedIn about your history with OutSystems, which started in 2018. Can you talk about your journey from skepticism to confidence?
Yeah, so just to give you a background, I come from a fairly .NET kind of background, and .NET people like to do things their way. They need the full freedom. And I was introduced to OutSystems, and I was like, no, this looks like a box which I am going to get refined to. I won't be able to do things my way. It was almost like I have a team of 15 people working, doing the DevOps, doing the implementation and everything. And now OutSystems says you just need 2. and it will do the DevOps for you. I was like, no, this is not possible. But since then, so it was OutSystems 10 at that point of time. And since then, we have transitioned to 11, ODC, now AI and everything. So I'm happy to have changed my opinion about OutSystems and a lot of other clients, to be honest. So it has been that journey where I've seen this thing evolve from something which I didn't personally believe in when I started.
Yeah.
But now I am like an advocate for it. Anybody who says OutSystems isn't working, I'm like, yeah, you have to talk to me.
Yeah, I was talking about this yesterday. The OutSystems story is sort of saying something that sounds unbelievable and then proving that it actually does work. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's fun. So you are client facing. I'm sure you deal with skepticism from them as well. How have your conversations with clients and their reactions evolved when you pitch the platform as an enterprise solution?
That's an interesting one. So again, I was skeptic. And again, like my clients were skeptic at that point of time. So what used to happen is OutSystems or any low-code platform, anybody who comes from a tech, from a traditional stack, they would be like, yeah, I want to use this, but maybe for standalone applications, or maybe just a UI layer on top of my core that I have. But last 6 months, I can talk about a couple of case studies. So for one of our major insurance clients, we have replaced their Salesforce CRM with OutSystems. And that's there in our case studies. So, and with an 80% reduction in TCO. So, and the other one where we have replaced their ServiceNow with OutSystems. So there are people who have started to think about using OutSystems for these disruptive things.
Yeah.
Instead of just the traditional or just the modernization, those kind of use cases.
Absolutely.
So sure, yeah.
That's exciting. Many of the talks, I was just talking with Rodrigo about this actually, many of the talks during one this year have been focused on AI.
Yep.
You work with clients interested in implementing AI into their workflows. Like many company leaders, they're just saying, hey, let's get AI in here. You have a unique insight not only into some cool AI use cases, but also what trends are kind of developing. What are you seeing lately?
So AI, to put it in a very simple way, I might be having a few enemies there after I say this out loud. But AI, I think everybody wants it.
Yeah.
Nobody knows why they want it.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think AI is great, but having that vision and the thought before it would take us a longer way. Instead of just trying to, otherwise I generally say it even to my clients and prospects, it's like a loss for me in terms of services. I'm not going to get that extra billing. But I'm happy to say it for a longer relationship, which is think through.
Yeah.
Let's not go for gimmicks. Let's just use AI for something meaningful, as well as other part of AI which was there on the floor even today at the conference was, the developers are scared.
Yeah.
That AI is coming and it is going to take away their jobs. And even a client, they might have a few people who might think that AI is going to take away their jobs. I personally think AI should be used, and it is being used to enhance your potential and not actually replace you.
Yep.
So something that you were doing earlier may be good, you might do it better after you use AI. So that's my take on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've heard a few people say that instead of replacing developers, you're going to be developers being experts in AI and using it. Yeah, absolutely. Which is also, I'll just say, I think there's a lot of parallels between the conversation around AI and software development and the conversation that OutSystems was having constantly around low code and software development. Like, is this going to replace me? No, we still need expert developers using these platforms, using AI to build the best possible apps.
Exactly. So that's the point. Earlier traditional, you used to build 2 applications in 6 months. Now you're building 20.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that means you have those 20 use cases with you, or 20 problems that you want to solve. With AI, maybe you will do 40 or 60 or 100. So it's just going to enhance the full potential for the people, for the organization, for the processes, instead of replacing anyone, is what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of, I'm hoping you're able to talk about this, but I heard you had an interesting engagement with UCLA recently.
That was a very small, again, journey from skepticism to the success. So I would say that. So what happened was this thing came in very interesting. UCLA came to us with 3 .NET applications. And 7 weeks later, we gave them 3 OutSystems applications.
Wow.
But the interesting bit is, anytime anybody comes to you with a requirement, you need the requirements or the documentation or requirement gathering sessions. And we had 0 of those. So what we literally did was, it was an end-to-end AI-assisted modernization, where we used Rhino AI with one of our proprietary AI, put the .NET code in there, get requirement documents out of it, used OutSystems Mentor to give us a 60% base for the new applications, enhanced it further, and 7 weeks later, voila, we have those applications ready.
That's so cool.
Without any intervention from business. And the business has been very happy. I met the deputy CIO yesterday, and she was going all gaga over. Yeah, this was good.
Amazing. That's very exciting to have that speed and I guess fewer meetings if you don't need the requirements docs. That's nice.
That's nice. And then with legacy, a big issue is most of the people, they might have the initial documentation, but they have done like 200 other changes after that till date. They have not updated it.
No.
So if you go by the earlier BRD and put it in your mentor, you might get a very outdated application and not something that's latest. So,
yeah, absolutely. That's really interesting. All right, so you were an OutSystems champion, and you're also ranked in the top 100 of our community. For developers at home interested in getting more involved in the community, what's your pitch?
Yeah. To confess, I have not been very active in the online community for the last couple of years. I always try and attend every user group that happens in any city that I am in. Mostly I'm based out of Pune, so any user group that happens there, you'll see me there. So what I would say is, when I started with OutSystems, 2018, imagine there were literally, might have everybody who used to use OutSystems at that point of time in my phone book today. So it was a bunch of people, and I had to learn OutSystems. So the thing that helped me continuously was community. Every time I got stuck, I went there. At that point of time, you used to post it, people used to solve the issues for you. It has gone better. Already somebody has faced that issue. If you just go to community and search, or maybe just post, it helps. Even with the Forge and other things, I continuously try and promote this in my internal development teams, where you have to mandatorily put 3 Forge components every year. So imagine like 450 Forge components coming out of my 150 team. That is the goal. So I generally give most of the credit for my success in terms of the competency in OutSystems to the community. So I would say anybody who is getting started or already working on OutSystems don't need a trainer or anybody else. All you need is that community that's already there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've asked almost everyone this question because I'll just let you in a backstage peek here. Last year, I asked almost everyone about the conference catering, and they said I was doing it too much. So we're doing a new go-to question. It may be a tough one. You attended 1 Amsterdam last year, and now you've seen 1 Lisbon. Which city wins out?
I'm going to make some friends and some enemies out of this question for sure, if that's your plan. But I have a bias here. As I mentioned, I am a football and a Manchester United fanboy. And with the connect with Cristiano.
Of course.
I would say it's Lisbon. No, but it has been a very good event this year. The conversations that we have had, the kind of things that we have seen in the showcases and the other events that are happening, all the sessions, they have been very good. So I would say, Lisbon.
Nice. That's amazing. So to let everyone in on a little secret, you were a very late addition to the stream. We had a guest that couldn't join us, and you happened to reach out around the same time. So I think you did great with this short timeline. Thank you so much for joining us on Decoded.
Thanks for having me.
So next up, we have VP of Developers Miguel Baltazar. So stay tuned. Welcome back. Joining me now is Miguel. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Miguel Baltazar. I am VP of Developers at OutSystems.
Wonderful. So once again, we have part of our management chain on the stream. So once again, if you have something positive for Logan and I, share it in the chat. And if you don't, keep those fingers away from the keyboard. Miguel will be paying attention to what you say.
I am monitoring it closely.
So Miguel, that was a really powerful community keynote you delivered. I know you worked very, very hard on it. Andreia was talking about the process a lot.
Yes, this year we really amped the level.
Yeah. So for those of you at home, Miguel pledged that we at OutSystems will help developers in our community become AI devs. What are you most excited for our community in this AI era?
Well, I think when we look at all the technologies that have come over the years, right? When we had mobile development, all of a sudden, all OutSystems developers became mobile developers. When we moved to the cloud and we had cloud native, then all of a sudden, all OutSystems developers could develop cloud native applications. And with AI is no different, but it's actually more relevant because I think that by being able to use the platform to deliver AI applications, all our developers are effectively going to be upskilled.
Yeah.
And they're going to be more valuable. And what I said in the keynote, and I think it might be in your next question, but what I said in the keynote was actually that AI developers are going to be incredibly needed as more and more companies try to embrace these capabilities, right? So being able to become an AI developer, and the challenge I made was, can you become an AI developer until the end of the year, right? And I know that Woodson yesterday here in the podcast said, well, the end of the year, we need to do it until the end of September, right? But yes, I mean, we want to make sure that all the people using OutSystems, all the developers creating applications are on the bleeding edge of this technology and are able to deliver business impact by using AI. And at the same time, create more value for themselves as developers in not just in the OutSystems community, but developers that can build with AI.
Yeah. Get them maybe some more pay and job benefits via AI.
Yes, it was very interesting because I actually talked about finishing your course, putting the LinkedIn badge in there, and then getting a promotion immediately. I don't think it will be that fast, but why not?
Why not? Let's see what happens. So yes, you referred to this in your last answer, but you've kind of doubled down on the sometimes controversial narrative that AI will not replace developers, but AI developers will. Can you walk us through what this means for the OutSystems community and give some concrete steps they should be taking right now?
Well, I think the most important thing is that this is something that is coming no matter what, right? So you either try to fight it or you roll with the flow and you really embrace this technology. And this technology can change things in different ways, not just in the way you develop applications with vibe coding and other things that we also talked about in the keynote, but also in the applications that you develop. And so by understanding what it can do, you can be an agent of change and actually evolve pretty quickly into being closer to the business. And that is the kind of change that I believe for most developers is going to be hard. But for OutSystems developers, that's what we've been doing all these years, right? Is getting closer to the business, prototyping quickly, showing, changing fast. So I don't think for OutSystems developers is going to be such a big change. But for other developers, it's going to be much harder. So I think OutSystems developers have a leg up in what they need to do. Now, in terms of what you need to do, we just released yesterday our personal edition for everybody with the Agent Workbench. So you should go and get your personal edition. You should go and do the Agentic AI guided path that we just put out. Get that badge I was mentioning so you can put it on LinkedIn and show the world that, you know, by being an OutSystems developer with a little bit of investment, you are able to become also an AI developer.
That's great. That's great. So, speaking of things being available now, with all the excitement around the new ODC free personal edition,
Yes.
and all the AI features included, what do you envision the OutSystems developer community will look like over the next few years?
Well, yes, as I said, I think this is really fundamentally going to change developers, not just in the OutSystems community, but everywhere, right? And and I envision the result to be that all developers, which will be much closer to what OutSystems developers are today than what they were before, which means that I see the OutSystems community taking this as another step, very normal step, like we did with mobile and like we did with cloud native. It's just another step that you're going to take. But because it's going to be so much easier for them to be closer to the business, to iterate fast, you are really going to be ahead of everybody else. And I'm really excited because this means that people that have bet their careers in OutSystems, people that have been delivering business value for all these years, are going to be now all of a sudden ahead of everybody else, which is going to be great.
Awesome. That's really exciting. So we are just past halfway through day 2 of the conference.
Okay.
We had a packed agenda yesterday, the Neo Party, and tomorrow we have the MVP and Champions Summits.
Yep.
I talked to some of the champions about how they think they'll go this year compared to previous years. Can you speak to the buzz around the conference, the energy, that kind of thing?
Well, what I have heard, and I've talked to partners, I've talked to customers, I've talked to developers, is that the energy this year is really, really high.
Yeah.
Not just because of all the announcements that we made about O11 and ODC working together and the new agent workbench, but also because people are excited with the future, right? There's all this world of possibilities that is opening up. That's a little bit scary, given that. But it's also something new. We feel like this year ahead is going to be very different. And I feel like next year when we all come together again for one, people are going to have a lot of battle stories to tell and a lot of great successes to showcase of all the stuff that they did with this new technology.
And I feel like we're already seeing this. Sorry to be repetitive on the stream, everyone, but I just talked to Joris, who was interviewed by Logan a few minutes ago, and he was saying that this conference 2 years ago in Lisbon, there was a lot of talk about AI, but maybe not use cases and showing off what they were able to do, just sort of what's coming, that kind of thing. But this year, we have so many use cases on AI, Workbench and Mentor and
yes, I mean
things.
the demo that we saw in the keynote, and I hope that at some point we'll release the new keynote so you guys can see from Travel Lessons. It blew me away because basically had agents talking to each other and AI talking to itself effectively in order to negotiate something that was the best solution for the user. And that use case kind of blew my mind because I can imagine the use cases between humans and agents, even agents doing stuff for themselves, but agents with agents coming up to a good solution, that is really going to be spectacular to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will also say, just as an aside, I think we've had a use case from an insurance company and a use case from a travel company. And I feel like in both cases, everyone presenting the use case in the demo has done a great job of separating whether they're talking about an AI agent or a travel or insurance agent.
Exactly.
Because it can be a little bit confusing.
Because there's agents on all of them. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So our next big OutSystems event is the One World Tour Miami stop, November 19th.
Yep.
Everyone show up. We're hoping to see you there. What can you tell us kind of what people can expect?
Well, the Miami event is going to be great because we're going to have already a month and a half into this announcement. And as you know, Woodson said that if you get an agent up to production till the end of the year, you get Agent Workbench till the end of life of your contract. So effectively, I know there is going to be a lot of people eager to understand what we've achieved, how we can evolve, how we can get those agents to production, what kind of use cases we're going to get. And that is really exciting because I think we're all going to be talking about so much more than what we have here in Miami.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I also talked to Amanda yesterday, and
Okay.
everyone's been saying to her, will we have Neo in Miami?
Aha.
So she hasn't decided yet. She's not sure if we can pull it off. So I'm just passing the message on to you that everyone
Okay.
really wants to see Neo
We
in
need
Miami.
to make sure we get Neo onto Miami. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so
we can.
last question, maybe
Yes.
a tough one. You've been to dozens of OutSystems events and conferences over the years.
Mhm.
What wins out? What city has been your favorite?
Oh, in terms of cities.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
No, you have to remember every city.
I am biased. I am biased for Lisbon just
Oh, sure.
because of it's great to be here, great weather and great food. But I really enjoyed Amsterdam last year too.
Yeah,
it was
it was
was
cool.
really cool. It was central. Everybody had a lot of fun. There was a lot of positive energy. So, I mean, I think I like them all. But this year, definitely amazing energy here in Lisbon, and we'll see where we go next year.
Amazing. Well, thank you for joining us, Miguel. This was great.
It was great. Thank you for being here and doing this, by the way, Eliza. This is
Of
great
course.
job. You and
I will
Logan.
just shout out that it is now 2 p.m. in Lisbon, and we do have someone from the west coast of North America joining us. Alex, welcome to the stream. Thank you for letting us know you're tuning in. I really didn't think anyone from the west coast would join us because this is very early
It
for
is
them.
very early. Good morning. I lived in the West Coast for a while, and I know that 2 p.m. here is 6 a.m. there. So
Yes.
make sure you get your coffee, Alex.
Up next, Logan is back in the host seat to chat with a product VP and a couple speakers. Just stay tuned through these 2 videos.
Here are my favorite things about Mentor. Mentor's out, a new AI for you to play with and improve your OutSystems projects. I've been having a lot of fun with it, so let's see my favorite things about it. You start by inputting your prompt and your document, and the first thing that Mentor App Generator will do is to create a data model that then you can customize. It analyzes your environment and finds connections to external systems like Oracle or Salesforce. Let Johnny worry about the Salesforce configuration. You can also use the data model from other applications, repurposing data from your environment. Or let Mentor do its magic and generate new entities, new attributes that then you can customize. Stay tuned for more favorite features about Mentor.
Hello, my name is Rodrigo and I just published a video about Model Context Protocol. In this video, I tell you what MCP is, how it works, and I'll build a small example so that you can see it in action. I'm gonna use the MCP inspector to make sure that everything is working fine, and then I'll connect my MCP server to a full-fledged application built with OutSystems. In addition to giving us more data, this will also allow us to call an action, making this a truly agentic project. Be sure to check the full video for a complete tutorial, and I'll be seeing you again soon.
Hello and welcome back to Decoded Live here in beautiful, sunny Lisbon, Portugal. My name is Logan Braid. I'm developer advocate here at OutSystems. And for this next session, I am joined by somebody really special, Gonçalo. If you can just go ahead, welcome to the show, introduce yourself.
So I'm Gonçalo. I'm currently heading product for AI and App Dev here at OutSystems. Really thrilled to be here at the event. Feels like coming back home to my family.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to be here and see all of you guys.
Yeah, I'm very true because last year we were in Amsterdam, so it feels like it's coming back home to Portugal, which is amazing. But I'm sure you had the opportunity to see everything with the keynote because you were there. But we had some exciting keynote announcements. What have you been hearing from conference attendees about those announcements?
I think 2 things. One, kind of like understanding that we are seeing the vision of where they're headed to, and 2, that we are actually working towards getting them closer to that vision. So I think everybody was kind of like excited. We heard like this small noise of, oh, what does this mean to me? And I'm glad that you are working on that. We had a lot of those comments. A lot of people happy about the direction we're going, either in Agent Workbench or, for instance, in mentoring, how we accelerate native app development. So overall, people are excited, and they are kind of like checking the boxes on, actually, that's my problem. So I'm glad that you're working on it. Yeah.
No, it's amazing because I feel like with some product launches, that other companies do, it's like not always addressing developer issues, and it feels like these announcements that came out were specifically, no, we're targeting exactly what developers need. I feel like AI is not, you can't put it back in the box. It's out there. It's going to be out there. So how can we best address like the issues the developers are facing? With your focus on the future of AI and app development, how do you see the opportunities for agentic AI specifically within the enterprise context?
Right. So agentic AI is really like a transformative shift in how we do business, in how we operate, in how we serve our customers. So in the enterprise, I think there are three areas where it can have a major impact. One is employee productivity. So basically being able to augment your team with a digital AI workforce and have them work side by side as assistants, having people become kind of like the mentors, the managers, the trainers of these agents, and having the agents do a lot of the grunt work that usually takes sometimes hours or days eventually on what they want to do. I think the other one is in around how we operate our business. So all the business processes that we have, it's kind of like agentic AI is like the last frontier for digital automation, right? So you can actually look into what is currently not possible to automate, and most likely you can build an agentic system that solves for that. So that can change your system from being, for instance, reactive to disruptions and so on, to very proactive towards delivering more value. The third one is on customer experiences. So I think we're at the first time ever able to kind of reach the segment of one. So one agent fulfilling the promises of your value to one customer at the right time, being very proactive around how you nurture, how you engage that customer, and provide them the services that they need. So I think this is the biggest transformation that we've seen ever, and it's right here. So.
It's so crazy because like it's a little bit about my background. Before doing developer relations at OutSystems, I was a developer for 10 years, and I feel like the last 2 years have had more transformational changes in my workflow as a developer than the preceding like 10 years, right? It's like the last time I felt a shift like this happening was when like CI/CD stuff really started coming into play when it comes to business and technical process. And now with the evolution of AI, it's just like the way I develop has just fundamentally changed. There's no more boilerplate stuff. It's like let the AI do what it needs to do and like empower me to do the development that I need to do. But thinking about like more of the competitive landscape with AI and OutSystems, what are OutSystems' unique selling proposition for AI agents compared to like other industry giants?
Yeah. So I think the first one is definitely that we have everything unified in a single platform, and when I mean everything is your data, which is critical for AI, your existing systems. So the systems that you have, the APIs that you have, they're basically what the agent can execute in your business. Without it, there's nothing the agent does other than just asking ChatGPT something. The fact that we also have the user interfaces, the workflows, so that you can have always accountability of the decisions that the agents are making, and you can have a human in the loop using a UI in the platform. So the fact that we have everything in one place means that you have one team to deliver the system end to end, that you have no dependencies between the front-end team, the back-end team, the AI team that you now have nowadays, the data team. So everything is right there. I think also very important is that we deliver AI that you can trust, meaning that AI, LLMs, they hallucinate. So ultimately they're probabilistic, they're going to hallucinate, right? So imagine giving it your entire data, the entire database that you have, and having AI hallucinate and pick information from one customer instead of the other.
Yeah.
And then, right?
Then you have a critical issue.
Yes, it's very high risk. With OutSystems, you can actually prepare the data, filter data in the context of that execution, and ensure that what AI gets to see is only the viable thing for that particular transaction. And that's really what you really need to have to do securely AI, right? So, and we bring all of this in a single place, so it makes it very easy for you.
Yeah, I think that's incredible because, you know, beforehand as a developer, you have to go to like 15 different places to make something like this work, and it can be very heavy traditionally from like a coding perspective. And it's like, now I can just do it, and it's drag and drop, and I don't have to spend the time actually creating these systems in code. It's there in a single platform, and I can just click a button and it's there.
It's running.
Yeah. And so what kind of sets us apart from other platforms and their announcements with agentic AI?
Yeah, I think those are mostly it. Right?
Mostly it, okay.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, what is your vision for the future of application development in the face of this new wave of AI innovation?
So I think there are several things that we can still try to transform and improve, right? So there's a lot of, coming back to AI security, there's a lot of evolutions in how we can do guardrails, for instance, how we ensure that AI runs under your compliance requirements, your regulatory requirements, and making sure that in a governed way at the enterprise, you can make sure that everyone that is doing AI does it in a governed, compliant way is quite relevant. And I think we have a really good edge there in the way that we can understand who are the users using your AI, what is the data that is being fed to your AI, at which stage of the process, which business process instance is actually using your AI. And we can think about this concept of guardrails in the context of the full transaction end-to-end. So I think we have a lot to add there.
Yeah.
The other thing is in AI native development as well, right? So when you get to have agents that do the work for you as a developer, and for instance, automate your entire life cycle, or understand which problems do you have in production, and how could you change your applications to evolve your applications and reduce those problems. For instance, in terms of managing your entire landscape of applications with AI and understanding, okay, this application should reuse something that you already have in your architecture, make it in a governed way so that you can have actually dozens and hundreds of developers vibe coding in a governed way across your entire portfolio, maintaining your architecture, maintaining your solid database for all applications.
Yeah.
So that's really enticing for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. And I kind of want to cycle back to something you were talking about in the regulatory environment, right? Like as developers, we're constantly faced with like GDPR, PCI, and like how we code in those environments, make sure we're doing the right thing every time. I kind of want to ask you about the vision of that. Like as a developer, where do you see, how is that workflow going to change for developers with the evolution of AI?
Yeah, well, I don't know about the rest of the world, but at OutSystems,
or at least where do you see it?
Yeah, exactly. At OutSystems, we want to make sure that we do that for you, right? So that it's one of those things that if you need to always remember of what you want to do, why can't we automate it, right?
Yeah.
Why can't we make it centralized in a governed environment and make sure that whatever applications and whatever agents that you develop, they bring in those requirements without you having to think twice about it.
Yeah.
Reduces human error, increases your productivity, makes sure that everybody's compliant. So it's on us to do it for you.
Yeah. Well, and then it's not just an oversight, right? Like it's baked into the platform and it just does it. Because I know, like as a developer, I'll be coding something and it'll totally. I mean, I make mistakes, right? I think we're all human when we're trying to do these systems, and there's a lot to think about with the development of these systems. So being able to have it just in the platform where you don't even have to think about it anymore is incredible. So now there's been a lot of talk about Mentor as a tool that complements like the traditional IDE. How do you see Mentor's role within the OutSystems platform, and what will its impact be on the daily life of the developer community?
Yeah. So Mentor is a big thing for us. we already see customers nowadays thinking about how Mentor can help them accelerate modernization of entire sets of legacy applications.
Yeah.
For instance, we've heard from Axis Bank how they are automating the modernization of their core system by creating new applications. They identify the requirements, they give those requirements to Mentor. They created one application with Mentor for the testers to validate whether the new applications are correct, and they get it rolling to production like in days.
Yeah.
Right, so that's impressive. Now, what we see is that if you build 1, 2, 3, 500 applications, then you need to understand, to have Mentor understanding your entire portfolio and understanding how you can improve, how you can standardize. And actually Mentor might become not your co-developer that works side by side with you, but is looking into that entire portfolio and does things on your behalf, even before you need, right? So there's a big opportunity there to automate a lot of the grunt work that maybe we don't need to do, but keep you in control, you as a developer in control and as the architect of the entire system.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, because if a ton of developers have been a part of multi-year efforts to migrate applications from something that's 20, 30 years old to something that's more modern, and it's like to be able to cut down that workflow from multi-year and have it be done in months is just, it's incredible to be able to see that happen. And then also what you're saying about Mentor being able to manage the portfolio, and I feel like as a developer, it would help us manage technical debt. Bring it down so that we don't have to worry about it, or quite frankly, some of it just gets lost when you're trying to do those migrations. You don't even know about it. And so to have Mentor come out and say, hey, no, you're going to have this, like, I'm going to address this, is really cool.
Yeah, and I would add, for instance, something that we're already seeing are developers making questions to Mentor, for instance, in the case of Axis Bank, trying to understand what is this application doing, why is this code like this, right? So many times when you modernize these legacy applications, you don't have the original requirements, you don't have anyone in the company that knows what the application should do.
That actually created the application. They're just not there anymore.
So actually thinking about the application is part of Mentor's role, to help you understand that, to help you cross-check that with the requirements that you have in Jira, for instance, and understand what's the bigger scope of your requirement implementation.
Yeah. All right. So I do want to talk about a common fear amongst the development community. The fear is that AI will eventually replace their jobs. How would you answer that fear for our developer community, and what do you see as the ultimate role of AI for developers?
Yes. So, well, I completely disagree with that.
Yeah.
First and foremost, and I see that also in other functions, right? The fact that we now have agentic systems doesn't mean that the jobs go away. It just means that if we do this right, the jobs become more and more strategic, right? So you become the architect, you become the designer of the system, you become the strategist that thinks how a business problem can be solved. That's what we've always been doing with low code for, in a sense, right? So I think this is the first time where technology is really, really, really aligned to our original vision of how we can do all of that for you, so that you can elevate your talent, so that you can unlock your talent to do what you like to do, which is me as a developer. So I've been developing for decades, unfortunately. But me as a developer, I take it as a craft, right? I like it. I like it. I don't do video games, but sometimes I code or I develop.
It's a passion.
It's like a craft. It's like you like to solve a business problem, right? And that's what with Mentor and AI, for instance, we now allow you to do that, to be focused on the business problem, shaping the data, how do you process the data, how do you get your users to use your applications and be really happy about it, how do you architect humongously big systems in a way that you can still make sense of the entire business process from end to end. So I think it's really just empowering us if we do it right.
Tool. Yeah, exactly. So last question, what what is the most that you're looking forward to at OutSystems this year with AI?
Yeah, so I think more and more of what we're seeing in this event, which is listening to our customers and understand the success that they are already having. So one of the great things about this event is that Agent Workbench is here. We've got personal environments available for everybody with our personal edition, and everybody can create an agent today. We've heard already some stories of our early access program customers that have created immense impact in their business operations already with the agents that they developed. So what I'm really looking forward is for these more advanced use cases of agentic AI, where companies get transformed, where customer experiences get transformed, like all the good stories that we've heard from Luz Saúde, for instance.
Yeah.
Let's follow up with each one of the patients long term, with one agent serving one customer, one patient at all times. So what I'm really looking forward is for these big adoptions of agentic AI, because that's transformative for businesses, and that's how we see them innovate. Yeah.
Well, that's incredible. Gonçalo, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Up next, we have two incredible speakers joining me, so we'll see you guys in just a moment. Hello and welcome back to Decoded. I'm joined here with two very special speakers about a really important topic that developers face in their day-to-day jobs. Megan, Kim, could you guys maybe do an introduction?
Yes. Hello, my name is Megan. I am a front-end developer at JustSolve. Our company is based in South Africa. We work with everything and anything, digital transformation, QA, testing, development, you name it.
Okay, all right.
Awesome. I'm Kimberleigh, Kim for short, and I'm a UX strategist based in London, also with JustSolve in South Africa, but working remotely from the UK.
Oh, okay. Well, so we've had a little bit of changes to our schedule, so I don't know if you've already given your talk or if it's in the next couple of hours. It's coming up.
Yes,
Okay,
it's still coming.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to add to the pressure of that, but
fine.
can you tell us the name of your session and what your session is about?
Yes. So our session is Component a Day Keeps the Boredom Away. It's about rediscovering fun in development in your day-to-day work. And often you see some cool stuff on the internet and you think, man, I wish I could build something like that.
Yeah.
So our session is just about creating some joy in and spark back into our 9 to 5.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of why I picked out your session specifically, because I feel like developers as a group, right, we always face that hurdle, the wall of this is just not doing it for me anymore. Like, how do you get the passion back after you know, face that wall?
Yeah.
And so being able to like see that there was a talk on it, I'm like, okay, let's talk about this and let's see how we can help the developer community. You guys are going to be addressing that.
Yeah.
But what do you think causes developers to develop that boredom with their day-to-day development activities?
Well, I think it's twofold. So I'm a designer, so I'm coming at this from a design perspective. So from us as a design team, we get a lot of pushback from our developers when we design anything custom, especially in OutSystems. You know, with OutSystems, there's an expectation of speed.
Yeah.
So our devs want to work quickly and they want to deliver value quickly. So when we design, if we design anything custom, we get some eye rolls. And I think my devs are on the call, so apologies for calling you out. So for us, you know, when you start to get more of that pushback and more of those that kind of feedback, you just think, okay, let me just stay in my lane. Let me design something that's kind of sticks to the
it's safe.
It's safe. And then you start to think, okay, I'm getting really good at this, but is it sparking joy for us? Not really.
Yeah.
So that's from a design perspective.
Yeah. Could you maybe speak on the other perspective?
Yeah, sure. We work on a lot of enterprise projects, so we work with established corporate identities and design systems. So there's not really space to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
So we just plot in the same form, the same 3 buttons, the same login screen, and it's quite boring. I mean, it's comfortable and it's fun, and we are amazing at it, but yeah, it just gets a little bit boring doing the same thing day in, day out. So yeah, why not have some little bit of fun in our alone time or outside of work, just creating something that sparks joy again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great problem to have. It's like, oh, you become so good at this one particular thing. Can you just do it because you're going to get it done quickly? It's going to like, you're going to be able to address all the issues right off the bat. You're going to know about it. But then that one developer is like doing the same thing over and over and over again. So
exactly.
It's like being able to change it up or not have to do the same marketing website 15 different times, the same login screens 15 different times. It's like, okay. But in your professional opinions, are there any types of components that developers can develop to combat that boredom better than others?
Yeah, I would say so. Something big, like maybe a gamification engine, is quite big, large, exciting. That would be way more exciting than building a custom carousel in JavaScript.
Yeah.
But building a custom JavaScript carousel is still better than just using the out-of-the-box form, 3 buttons, login screen, day in, day out. So maybe something, the more interactive, the more creative, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess when it comes to maybe just focusing on the creativity side of it, if let's say you're given the same generic application that you've had to develop 15 times over, how do you inject that creativity into that application to make that happen?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's about picking your battles with creativity, right? Like with enterprise software, you shouldn't always reinvent the wheel. Like you don't need to continue to come up with new stuff. But it's sometimes like from a UX perspective, it's just about finding a way to make an experience a little bit more delightful. So we've got some examples in our talk, if anyone wants to join.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Of just like
Nudge,
little,
nudge,
you know, wink, wink. Just like of little bits of delight that you can bring in. So we've got some confetti that we brought in. We've got some emoji rain. Not always like the right scenario to bring that in. Like if you're in a healthcare setting, maybe you don't want to bring something kind of whimsical, but there are situations where you might want to bring in something a little bit special and zhuzh it up.
Something like subtle animations, micro animations can really elevate your app without you even knowing that it brings joy to the end user. Instead of going from one screen to another screen, just bring something in that flows, and that can already, just be better.
Yeah. So basically, like experimentation within the guidelines of what you're trying to develop.
Yes.
It's just about having fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, and just trying something different. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we built didn't work, and that was part of the point. You know, it was just to play and just to experiment. And like sometimes we came up with stuff that we were like, that's great. Like we would love to bring that in. Yeah. And some of the stuff we were like, let's just forget about that one.
Well, it's like sometimes, you do the experimentation and somebody sees it and they're like, well, yeah, no, this didn't quite work. But then other times it's like, oh no, that's really cool. Can you do that again?
Yes.
Or let's take that and build upon that to use it for something different.
Yeah, exactly.
Just twist it, remix it, and then you make something entirely different that you didn't even think about at the start.
Yeah, just throwing something at the wall, see if it sticks, and if it does, then like you've kind of scratched that creativity itch.
Exactly.
But so about your personal experiences, maybe with this topic, what inspired this session on combating developer boredom?
So it's funny because we were actually inspired by the One conference.
Oh, really?
So we attended 2 years ago for the first time, and there was a talk by Aaseya who did OutSystems Uno. I don't know if you've had him.
Actually, so he's going to be on the podcast here.
Okay.
Yeah, later today.
Well,
or he was, or maybe he's already been on it. Sorry.
We're his number one fangirls.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But his part 2 is at the same time as our talk.
Yeah. Oh.
So we're unfortunately going to miss it. But we saw that, and this was when we were stuck in a rut. And we saw that and we thought, that is so cool.
Yeah.
How can we do something like that?
Yeah. Why can't we build that?
Yeah.
Like, let's just try it.
Yeah.
Because we were in a slightly negative headspace at that point, and we were thinking, you know, is it OutSystems that's limiting us? Is it us that's like just kind of stuck in a rut? And when we saw that, we were like, oh, we've got to do something about this.
Yeah, I know. Well, in those sessions, like I see them and they inspire me too, and it's like, oh no, you get to play around with all these different things when you see those talks. You're like, I'm gonna try that.
Exactly.
I'm gonna try this other topic.
Yeah.
So I think we're running on time. Oh no, we're actually doing okay. So let me go ahead and maybe transition just to the conference, because you said you've been to multiple conferences in the past and seen like different topics. What has been your favorite conference thing this year that you've seen, or maybe a session that you've seen?
So I'll go. Yeah. So we recently came from a talk. It was in Hall 3, and it was about removing buttons. So like how agentic AI can kind of get rid of interfaces and buttons.
Yeah.
And agentic AI, I mean, it's a huge buzzword. And
Yeah, it's the buzzword right
Like,
now.
it's going to be boring by the end of this. But we saw that talk and we were like, okay, you know, how can we use agents to bring it into our own workflow? We're actually running a bit of an experiment at JustSolve at the minute as to how we can use agents to just improve our own pain points within our own company.
Yeah.
So it gave us some ideas. So that was really exciting.
Oh,
for
that's
me.
cool.
Yeah.
Scratching the creativity itch.
You know, you gotta find the creativity where it comes.
How about you?
Yeah, agentic AI is everywhere, but I love the UI talks, the front-end talks. There's a talk in a couple of hours about accessibility, and Helena's talk a little bit later, previously, was also about accessibility, and it's so cool how OutSystems already has all of these accessibility things out of the box, but what can you do extra to confine to the guidelines? So that's really interesting, and just keeps us thinking, what do we need to do in our own projects to make sure our accessibility is up to date and ready for the users, because accessibility is everyone's responsibility.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah. And actually, we had, like, not too long ago, 2 other guests who were talking about accessibility in applications. So, but it's cool to see that, like, those sessions are inspiring you guys, and even inspiring you guys to give talks about like this subject.
Yeah.
But I know we've only got really a few seconds left. Do you have any parting thoughts for our viewers about developer boredom?
Yeah. You don't need a Jira ticket to build something cool.
Yeah.
If you ever thought, man, you go on an app stores, Facebook, and you think, wow, that looks cool, go ahead and try it. Just build it just for the sake of creating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
How about you?
block off the time. That's
block
one
off the time. Yeah.
One of like the biggest realizations we had. Like put it in your calendar. Like experimentation, playtime, and just be creative and just see where it goes. Like don't set yourself limitations. Don't set yourself restrictions.
Yeah.
And just have fun with it.
Yeah, and it can be small. You don't need to build Facebook. You can
Yeah.
literally just build an emoji animation or something small. Just something that sparks a little bit joy in your own life.
Yeah. I was thinking of it like a sandbox. Just like play around,
Yes.
break things, see how they work. Just do it for the sake of creativity.
And then
Just
share
for the
it.
joy of it. Yeah, share it.
And then share it. Share it on Forge, share it on some way so other people can build upon that. Maybe give you a couple of ideas. Maybe it's a bit buggy and they can assist you in that in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to share what we've done.
Yeah.
It's not perfect what we've done, but we wanted to bring it to everyone.
Yeah,
and
because
to
the
inspire them to
community
do
is
the
so
same.
great.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
Well, Kim, Megan, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys coming out. Up next, we're going to have Eliza, and she's going to be back with the leader from our product team, so stay tuned.
Hello, we are thrilled to be here at the OutSystems One conference again this year as proud Diamond sponsor. Let me walk you across our mission at KPMG with OutSystems, a collaboration that started more than 15 years ago. With a worldwide presence, KPMG is delivering projects around the globe at any scale. We have many in-house OutSystems experts and many other technology experts to fully support our clients. Our global OutSystems COE is also supported by our CMEs, where OutSystems can be in the center of any organization and transformation. And of course, our clients are at the heart of this journey. At KPMG, we help organizations reimagine the way they work, deliver, and grow. With OutSystems, we've been accelerating clients' digital transformation by building solutions faster, smarter, with real business impact. This year, we are excited about how GenAI is shaping businesses. With OutSystems Agent AI tools, we are helping to deliver robust solutions faster, allowing companies to unlock new value opportunities for their growth. For us, OutSystems provides the governance layer for GenAI by enforcing guardrails, data policies, and auditability across the entire application lifecycle. OutSystems and GenAI create a strong, resilient bond, aligning low-code workflows with generative intelligence. We are excited about this new chapter. If you're looking for the right partner to drive your business innovation, visit the KPMG stand and check our website. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Well, somehow I think this is not gonna be a good idea. We were developing this application that was a mobile application that you could get notifications through push notifications. Instead of using a for each, so I was using a cycle, using if with a stop condition, and I messed up the stop when we launched to test environment. 5 minutes after that, I started getting calls from our customers saying, our phones are getting crazy because we are getting like notifications every second, so it doesn't stop beeping. We don't know what to do. The people were complaining that they couldn't use their phones because it was always beep, 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 beep. And with that call, I just realized, those moments. And I rushed to the computer. I was kind of sweating. I was just logging into the environment and trying to shut down the services. Luckily, again, it was just for the customers that were registered as testers. It's those kind of things that give you the notion that a really small error sometimes can cause big impacts. So when I'm laughing because now it's funny. Back in when it happened, it was not that fun.
Everybody makes mistakes, and that one was kind of a big and famous one. I was preparing a proof of concept. I had a process that I was building that would call itself. I implement it, I try it, then I start hearing complaints saying, hey, this is getting slow. As probably you're figuring out, oh, I did an infinite cycle. But I have done infinite cycles before, so what you do the old thing of restart the server, it will stop, and then you correct your code and go on. We restarted the server, slow again. I restart again, slow again, and again. Restarting the server, it wasn't working, so the server was unusable. I think I filled the table with billions of process instances, creating more processes instances. I was very, very worried. We needed to open a support case. The guy that was giving the support talking with astonishment in his face, saying, "But you filled up the table. We had to clear the IDs. It was fully clogged." So it was really a messy one. At least I gave someone a problem, a very new, interesting problem, I hope.
My name is Rodrigo, and today I'm going to show you how you can use an AI custom model in an OutSystems application. We began by running a custom model, Llama 3.2, in our own machine. We did a small proxy that allowed AI Agent Builder from OutSystems to connect to our custom model running in our machine. And then we created an OutSystems AI agent that took benefit from that custom model to summarize meeting transcripts. Finally, using Mentor, in just a couple of minutes, we created an application that did meeting management, and we added the functionality that, by clicking in a single button, summarized the entire transcript in just a few sentences plus a few action items. So all of this in just a few minutes.
Well, we're back with Coded Live at 1. I'm your co-host, Eliza. I hope you had fun with Logan. I'm not able to see what's going on in the booth when I'm not in it, due to the soundproofing mostly. So today I have joining me Pedro from the product team. Welcome to the show. Please take a moment to introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you for having me here, Eliza. So, as you said, my name is Pedro Girão. I'm a VP of Product at OutSystems, but more important than that, I'm actually a member of the OutSystems community since actually 2007, which was when I did my first bootcamp in OutSystems 4.0, which the biggest feature at the time, I think, was the back button. So, a lot of years building and working in the ecosystem, so super excited to be here.
The back button was a really big product improvement, though.
One.
So yeah.
And don't get me started on when we actually did the undo, because the undo was also an important one.
Vital. Okay, the keynote had quite a few moments focused on O11, ODC, interoperability, unification this year. Can you talk to us about the vision for OutSystems platform evolution over the next few years and how this theme of unification will guide it?
Yeah, so I talked about a bit about it on the keynote, of course, but fundamentally, I think what we need to understand is the world is today very different than 4 years ago. The path we're headed has changed quite a lot. We've been talking to all our customers, we're listening feedback, we've seen all the disruption in the world, and the most important thing for me is helping our customers. And I know that sounds very vague, but what does actually that mean? One example I talked to yesterday was on the previous disruption wave around customer experience. A lot of organizations lost to their competitors, they suffered disruption, a lot of new companies were entering the space, and we know that agentic is here. And more important than OutSystems A, B, or C is how can we help our organizations and our customers actually be prepared for the agentic revolution, modernize their systems. So we needed to look into our platform, we needed to look into these new features and how can we get our customers to build, to be protected against this, to start changing and modernizing as fast as possible. And for that, we actually understood that we needed to look into our platforms in an integrated way because the majority of our customer base was on O11, our newest features was on ODC, and we needed to solve that. So that's where we started looking into the platform, in reimagining a future where both of these platforms are quite integrated, they talk with one another, but not only in a future where, well, this is O11 as I always use it, and this is ODC as I've used it, but we're also thinking, how can we make our platform more agentic, more powerful, more intelligent? It's no longer operations like I click to deploy. The platform will know when you need to deploy, will help you deploy. A lot of cool things coming, but if there's two things that would remain is connecting these two futures, agentic and all the foundations, and a much more powerful agentic platform that we will be building to support this.
Yeah, this customer feedback was huge in shaping a lot of our decisions this year. I'd love to, I didn't prepare you for this question, but I'd love to know, and so the audience can know, when did that decision get made? So like how much time did you have to build that button to unify the platform?
So as with a lot of, these are all very big decisions, right? And there's a lot of thinking behind the process. calculating the impacts, taking care. So first, let me just say a big thank you to the entire R&D team that actually it's not a button, it's everything that happens
Yes,
behind the
yeah.
button, which involves provisioning, creating infrastructures, connecting infrastructures, working quotes for our customers. There's a lot of work that goes behind it. So I could say certainly there's 3, 4, 5 months of work to get to this moment. But truth be told, getting all the feedback we heard yesterday from our customers on the ability to access ODC, developers to have their own personal editions, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
And it's what we want, right? It's enable our customers to build, and be prepared.
Absolutely. Yeah, you mentioned the keynote. Can you talk about the kind of significance of what unification is going to mean for customers and their ability to leverage the full platform?
Yeah, I think it's connected. It's always connected to their foundations. With everything that's going on in the world, it would be extremely unfair for us to go and have our customers having to rebuild software.
Yeah.
That's not where they should be spending their money, their time. So the critical point is giving them the new tools, helping them modernize, give them a new way to think about digitalizing software. In 2025, we no longer think about, I'll move this piece of paper, stop doing this by hand to one app. People are thinking, how many agents will I need? How much more productive will my team be? And when can my 1 or 2 or 3 employees actually interact with the agents? We are thinking different. We needed to provide those tools, but always on top of the foundations that are the success for our customers these days.
Absolutely, yeah. So unification is, of course, key for enterprise adoption. How will the platform, I guess, evolve to ensure a seamless experience across different parts of the OutSystems stack?
So the way we're going to build a unified platform is basically 4 phases. The first one started yesterday, and it's all about making sure no matter who you are, you have access to ODC. If you're an ODC customer already, great. If you are an O11 customer, you'll get an ODC. If you're a developer, you'll get an ODC. If you are a partner, you'll get an ODC, and you pick the pattern, right? And that is the first phase, is making sure we remove any blockers for adoption of ODC. And that includes also the commercial part. We're allowing any customer to share their AOs, to share that entitlements. I know that yesterday there was still a lot of questions about it, and we got some sneaky questions like, okay, but at the end of the year, are you guys to ask me money for it? and the answer is no, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot more entitlements that these customers will have access to, as we'll enable them to actually leverage and use AO, and use AOs on ODC. Then the second phase is the actual technical interoperability, which we're running very fast too, which is allowing any customer to actually use their users, data, and existing logic on ODC. And once again, whether you're supposing your entities that already count AOs in O11, we will not be double counting them, neither will the logic. Of course, we want to make sure it's super simple to use everything you've built on ODC, and enabling that is our top goal for as early as possible 2026. So I'm looking at January, February to get it out here.
Wow.
And for data, the AP is actually already live, so apply, please, and give us feedback and use it, and let us how it goes. Then we'll go into a phase that we call unified management. And why is that important for developers? What this means is, if you're familiar with O11, you have Lifetime, you have Service Center, different consoles for different operations. In ODC, you have ODC Portal, which is also a different experience. What we're going to unify is the entire management experience. So we want to use, of course, a set of platform services and metadata. We'll have 2 runtimes still, O11, and we'll keep that and cloud native, but we'll get one single experience to manage both of them. Deploy your applications, observe your applications, get your insights. That will be done in one single place, hence the unified management experience, which I think everyone will love, and that's a lot less friction. And then finally, we'll move more into the unified development, and that's all about giving full control of to our developers, to each type of runtime or portfolio, as we're going to call it, by the way, just a sneak peek at that, to each one they want to actually develop, build, change their applications, in one unified experience.
Very cool.
So as things are working together, developers will be very easy to see, oh, this is my O11 portfolio applications, these are my ODC applications. I want to deploy to there or I want to deploy to that in one type of experience, not a lot of different tooling like we have today that we have several of those. Our developers have like a line of icons, so we would love if they actually just get one icon to interact with the platform.
Very exciting. That sounds like a lot of work ahead in the next few months. Is there anything coming out soon that might excite the developer audience?
Well, if you're a long-time developer like myself, we still get excited with the small things. There's actually one pretty cool thing coming out, I think this month or next month, which is the new database events for our event-driven architecture in ODC. So if you're tired of actually creating your own custom events because something happened in the database and you need to code the handler and share that event, we actually are going to just allow all DB events to be exposed when the developers want, and you can just react directly to those, so not having to create your own custom events to deal when something changes the database. It's a small thing, but it saves a lot of development time, and
Yes.
hope everyone will enjoy it.
And that has definitely come up at user groups before when we've talked about event-driven architecture, so that's really exciting. Okay, so finally, speaking of a question that comes up at user groups a lot, the developers would love to know, will we have a unified Forge?
Yeah, so a unified experience for sure, but always with complete control over what you're seeing. So we'll have components that are for a traditional runtime, we'll have components that are for cloud-native runtime, but the experience will be combined. You'll see them with your agents, eventually even with solutions, but we want to have one single place where you see all your 11 and ODC. Basically, what we want is you to see all your OutSystems assets. So I'm eager to a future where you have the OutSystems platform and you have OutSystems assets and the OutSystems experience. And that's what a simplified actually future looks like.
Amazing. I love that. So thank you so much for joining us, Pedro.
No problem.
What an exciting year you have ahead. Up next, I will be joined by two powerhouse MVPs. They've warned me this segment might go long because they're so excited to chat with you all. We'll be back in just a second. Thanks for sticking with us and welcome back. I have, like I said, two incredible MVPs with me. Nuno, Helena, welcome back to the show. Please introduce yourselves. Let's start with Nuno.
Hello, thanks for having me here. I've been working in IT for 20 years, OutSystems for 14. I've been an MVP for 10, and I'll do just everything everywhere.
Amazing. And Helena?
Hi everyone. Thanks for having me here. I'm Helena. I'm working with OutSystems for 7 years. I had a second life before. I was a pharmacist. Then I had a turn in my career. And now I'm working at Aaseya Group, which is a big insurance company in my country. So I'm plenty working with OutSystems in insurance.
Amazing. Yesterday, I think we had a former neuroscientist turned developer, and we also had someone in the audience that was a former teacher turned developer.
Oh.
So very exciting path we were all on. So let's get the important business out of the way first. Happy birthday, Helena.
Oh.
I know it's a bit difficult, but how are you celebrating while you attend the conference this year?
I think that being here, it's a really gift. There are people that wanted to be here and that are not able to be here. Their community is very evolving, so you are amongst friends
Yes.
and with knowledge, and that's the best way to be in my birthday. So I will celebrate with my friends a little bit afterwards,
Amazing.
but today it will be on OutSystems, which is one of my lives.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah,
a
of course,
great
we've
day.
got the MVP barbecue tonight, so
Yeah.
that'll be fun. Did you go to the Neo party yesterday?
Yes, and I'm voiceless.
I had to chew up a lot of cough drops to get to this point today. But yeah, and then tomorrow, of course, is the MVP summit, so
Mhm.
you'll have plenty of time with your fellow MVPs to celebrate, I think.
Okay.
Both of you are MVPs, of course, and have been for quite some time. You're also repeat guests here on Decoded Live from One, as you're both on our first ever 10-hour stream with Cecilia last year. Shout out to Cecilia, we miss you a lot.
Yeah.
How would you encourage our developer community watching from home to get involved? Would you like to start?
Sure. What I say is always the same. Be there. So if you have a one conference in your country, go there. If you don't have one conference, go to Dev Days. If you don't have Dev Days, go to user groups. If you don't have in-person events, go to online events. If you can't do it on that time, join a WhatsApp group or whatever. But find a community, be involved, meet people, learn new skills. That's the important part. And in the end, you will be at one conference because that's where everyone needs to be.
Absolutely. Helena?
Yeah, I would say that users groups is the cheaper way to go because it's free.
Yes.
And you may have the opportunity to go there in presence, in person, or for instance online. So that's you go to Google OutSystems user groups, and you will find at least one user group near you. And there are a lot of cities with user groups live. So it's a great starting point. Start with the community page. You have a lot of events there. You have also mentorship. You have Edipilist, where a lot of people are mentoring in one-on-one sessions with you. So if you are struggling with OutSystems, we are always there for you. So the community, I think it's one of the biggest and the most closest community in the world, and it's a huge opportunity for you to learn.
Wonderful. I love that answer. Nuno, you are, of course, famous in the OutSystems community for how involved you are. Multiple Neo awards, constant shout-outs from other developers. The list goes on. One of your biggest areas of participation is user groups, like you mentioned. Could you tell me how attending, speaking at, and even organizing user groups has sort of helped your career?
So my career started a bit bumpy. OutSystems wasn't my first stack. I was doing similar things, dragging lines and that stuff, but I was alone. So in my city, I was almost the only one working OutSystems. And when I became an MVP, I was the only one outside of Lisbon, so I always felt alone. And what I said was, never again, not for others. So I tried to be there for everyone around me. And when that was established, I had Porto. Well done. I started to do other cities. So I did Leiria with Helena, I do Bragança, everywhere. Even today, we plan to start a new city. So we'll have like 10 cities in Portugal with user groups to meet people and be involved.
That's awesome. I love that. Elena, similar question to you. This year, they didn't let the two Decoded podcast hosts find out about who was winning Neo Awards because last year we totally spoiled it when we had you and Daniel on to talk about your Neo Awards before the award show even happened. So last year you, of course, won for attending the most user groups. What's been your sort of favorite aspect of attending? Was it like specific talks or was it the networking, the catering?
The catering? No. On online events, you will not have catering, but you will have availability. Sometimes to be if you have kids at home or you have to take care of someone and you cannot leave your homes or you don't have availability, to have an online event that you can attend while you are doing cooking or you're tidying or something, it's something that can help you evolve and to learn. Some of the information that you have in user groups, they are disclosed and they are nowhere on documentation. So you are being part of something that is very specific for you that you should attend, and you are not always feeling like you're being part of something, because even if they are online, they will take care. You can make questions, and you will become from that community. If you are on person events, you have the possibility to catch up with other people that are doing something similar with you, or they are working with something that you are not knowing about, but in the future you may have to work with, and okay, that guy told me about this. So you start to make connections,
absolutely,
and to start to make learning points. And this is not something that you read on the books or you watch on a video. You have to contact with people. It's essential for you to learn.
Absolutely, I love that. That's not, of course, all that these two MVPs get up to in the community. You're both prolific mentors as well. I'm going to start with you, Nuno. Can you talk about your experience mentoring?
Sure. So I started mentoring just one person occasionally at the company I was working at, but suddenly I applied to be a mentor at Raparigas de Código, and Sne was doing the same. She was talking to Raparigas de Código to teach OutSystems there. So I was joining hoping to do nothing, and suddenly they were giving me 20 people every year to learn OutSystems, and a few more. By now I think there's been 100 people there. And also the founder of Raparigas de Código is a teacher at Porto University.
Wow.
She mentioned that, and this year I gave classes of OutSystems to 150 people at the university.
Wow.
So it's been amazing.
That's very cool. I love
and
that.
they competed at Hackathon and they are in the top 10.
Top 10 in the hackathon, and it was their first time using OutSystems?
The first time, some of them learned in April or May.
Wow.
So no professional experience.
That's incredible. That's really cool. You're a little bit newer to mentoring, but you've also put significant time in. Can you talk about your experience a little bit?
I started mentoring more than 1 year ago, and it was some kind of a New Year's resolution. And it was a personal challenge. I want to speak in OutSystems in other languages that not Portuguese or English, because I'm mostly fluent in Spanish and French. And I wanted to have people from other countries to mentor, and that was my challenge. That was not successful at the beginning. I had a lot of Portuguese people or Brazilian whatsoever and English people, but then I started to appear the Spanish and the French, which was my main, and I think they don't have the support that they have in their countries that we have here in Portugal or in Netherlands or whatsoever. So they lacked of support and the knowledge and to people to speak on their so it was essential, and for me to evolve with them and to have a different perspective of what happens in their country was the most grateful thing that I could have. So it was grateful for me. And it was great for them. So I think mentors is a win-win solution always.
Awesome. I just want to give a shout out to one of our champions that was on the stream earlier. He started mentoring in Arabic, Mostafa. And he's had a ton of experience. So it's
he
great.
asked us about how our experience was.
Amazing. That's perfect. And I also want to shout out João in the chat saying hello to both Nuno and Helena.
Oh, hi.
So hello, João. Were you going to say something? I'm so sorry.
I was reinforcing what Helena said. I've had mentors from Kenya, Kazakhstan, Cyprus, all over the world. They find us just by Googling our names.
That's very cool. There's actually, he's not yet a MVP or a champion, but we're working on him. We've got a developer in Atlanta named Donald who started a nonprofit to teach OutSystems to folks in Africa who then are able to work for companies all around the world with their new skills, which is really cool. In fact, he was working for an OutSystems partner and then just quit the partner to focus on the nonprofit full-time, which is really cool. So shout out to Donald. He's probably not watching because he's such a busy man, but so we made some big announcements during the keynote, showed off some cool demos and use cases. Did anything stand out to you this year?
For me, the greatest moment of the conference was just 1 hour ago, because Ana Batista, one of our mentees, was on stage for her first time. And it was my first mentee talking at one.
That's amazing.
That's a huge accomplishment. And,
she's great.
Yeah, 3 years ago she was getting rejected from companies, and she's being in Decoded, she's being at a local drag and drop podcast and at Women Plus user group, and now she's on one, proving she's the best.
She's getting to be as famous as you are. What about you? Any highlights?
I also support Anna because I worked with her, and I'm really proud of her. But going to perspectives and technically, and I think this is a very big step for OutSystems, is to unify the two platforms. That perspective to have a single perspective to not talk about migrations, to talk about an evolving interoperability. It's something that is very, very important, and I think that will be a before and after this step. And it was a huge step done by OutSystems, and I think it's the greatest moment of the day. Okay.
Wonderful. I love that answer. So, Nuno, Helena, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Thank you for having us. See you next year.
Yes, of course. Up next, Logan is back to chat with, you'll never believe this, another speaker. And then 3 amazing OutSystems team members, so stay tuned after this quick video.
Want to make an API call in your OutSystems app? Well, let me show you how in this OutSystems Tech Tip. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the Logic tab in Service Studio. And as you'll see in integrations, there is a REST option. We're going to right click on REST. We're going to consume REST API, and it'll give you 2 options. Add a single method, click continue. Once that pops up, we're going to go ahead and copy and paste our URL into the method URL. So we will test this out by putting in our single name and testing it. So we're going to copy the response body. So we're going to go ahead and click finish. Then we just need to connect our button to that REST API call. Go back to logic, go to our get Pokemon method, drag it. And so in this case, we're just going to default it because I just want to show how to make the call be connected. So let's go ahead and publish our app. And then when we click our button, we should reach out to our API and get the information that we're looking for. If you like what you see, please be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Hello, welcome back to Decoded Live here in the beautiful Lisbon, Portugal. My name is Logan Braid. I'm developer advocate here at OutSystems, and I'm actually joined here with an OutSystems employee and a speaker who has a really interesting topic and history to talk about. Dinesh, if you can just go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know about you.
Hello, yeah, I'm Dinesh Carvalho. I'm a product designer at OutSystems. I'm working mainly on Agent Workbench at the moment.
Okay.
And yeah, I had a presentation just this morning about a game that I've built with OutSystems.
Well, that's amazing. So I've heard from a couple of people that you've been at OutSystems for a number of years, and I was wondering if you can tell us a little bit more about your role at OutSystems.
Yeah, for sure. So I joined the company about 11 years ago. And I actually started in professional services. So I was working in projects for customers, mainly as a front-end developer. And then I step by step got closer into the product.
Yeah.
And now I'm a product designer working on the future of the features that we are developing.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty crazy transition to go from professional services to product designer. But like,
Yeah.
I can see how it would escalate into that role if you use the product so much. But what does a typical day look like for you as a product designer, and how does it vary across projects?
Yeah, so as product designers, we typically are working on what would be the next set of improvements or big initiatives for the product. So for instance, if I'm working in Agent Workbench, typically we have a new set of features that we understand based on research and on the product roadmap that we establish. So I'm usually doing conceptual design, what are the abstractions that we might want to bring to solve the use cases. So it's a lot of working on concepts and then refining those concepts with low fidelity mockups, validating with our customers, with our MVPs, if it makes sense, if we are actually solving the problems, and if we are, then we start to polish the design, going to high fidelity designs, testing a bunch more, and eventually we hand off to development teams, and we never stop. So we still follow the development, and then even after release, we check the metrics, we check the usage. So that's a typical, well, not a day, but those are the
typical
activities.
cycle. Yeah. A lot of iterations to get from, basically what you think it will look like to actually getting to what it looks like. So now, of course, being on the Agent Workbench team, I'm sure you're dealing with AI all the time. AI has become a huge topic at OutSystems and many other companies, and it's rapidly changing the way that everybody does things, from product designers to developers to just the industry as a whole. How do you stay inspired and keep that creativity sharp with just the speed of the changes?
Yeah, I just, I'm a developer by passion, regardless of the technology. So if it's interesting, if it's coming as a trend, I love to jump in. So I use a lot of other tools, to be honest. So I use a lot of just trendy tools that are appearing. I go there, I try them out myself. I take my own conclusions of what did make sense for me. So my inspiration is really what's happening out there.
Yeah. So basically being able to see like, okay, does somebody have something cool that they've worked on? And if it's cool enough, how do I integrate it into my day-to-day work or even a project that I'm working on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. So now to switch gears from just like your role at OutSystems, let's talk about game dev. So I know before we came into the booth, we had a whole chat about game dev, and I'm sure we're going to continue to talk about this after. But your topic or your game that you developed, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, of course. So it all started essentially as I joined OutSystems. I always had this dream, to be honest, of having a game in production being played by hopefully lots of people, built with OutSystems. But I never really had a good idea for it. Like the mechanics were never really there until recently. We were playing some online games, me and my team. And we just wanted to have some chill moment, in Zoom and play a few games.
Yeah.
We got a little bit tired of the ones we were playing, and this idea came to mind to make it a bit more personal. That's where the idea to create a game where we answer questions about each other came to mind. So it was really a teamwork. I developed an MVP, and I started to play with my team. They provide feedback. And the next week, I had a bunch of improvements because it's built with OutSystems, right? So iterations crazy fast. Next week, another game. And we evolved for months until today, finally releasing it for everyone.
Yeah, so before we came into the booth, we were talking about this. You actually demoed this game live at the conference in front of quite a few number of people, and it was a flawless experience.
That's true, yeah. So instead of doing like a solo game, me with bots, I invited the crowd to join me. So a few people from the crowd came in. We got into the game lobby together because the game is online and real time.
Yeah.
And we played around. We were voting on each other, and it went flawlessly, running on my personal environment, and still perfect.
That's crazy, because I think, when you think about game development and OutSystems, I think the perception in the industry is like low code, no, you can't do something like that. But to think that you were able to build an application that is a game that is a multiplayer game that would be associated with tons of other tools in the industry, I think is really just a testament to what you can do in a low code environment, and like be able to have other people jump in and use the tech the way that you did it. Now, so kind of speaking about the tools in the industry, there's a lot of different game development tools out there. Why OutSystems? Why would you use OutSystems to build a game?
Yeah, so actually it started with the technology first. I wanted to make a game with OutSystems, and I was trying to find the perfect fit for it, because gaming has a wide range of complexity, right? You can be an indie developer doing something with a small game engine, or you could be like going all in into Unity or Unreal Engine, right?
Yeah.
So for a game where the mechanics are very much based on data that you have on the server, answering questions, getting results, so OutSystems was perfect for it because I could iterate so fast on the game. I was not even designing like the game assets.
Yeah.
I was not designing, I was implementing first, and only after I validated if it worked, then I got to design and polish the UI.
Yeah, no, that's crazy to hear about. So how does using low code change the way that you approach building a game? So again, the reason why I'm asking this, I feel like you do game dev, it's like, I'm going to do Unity, I'm going to use Unreal Engine, and it's like, there's specific ways to do that type of game development. How does it change with OutSystems?
I guess that it all comes to what OutSystems really does for app develop the same way, because what you have is one single platform that does everything for you, does most of the heavy lifting for you, and you have one solid development environment to do it. Like you could do a game with Unreal or Unity, but you would most likely need a bunch of other tools to support your development environment. So with OutSystems, I'm on my ODC studio, developing, manipulating my data model, making sure my actions are executing correctly. So for me, it's just comfortable and fast to just make sure everything is being developed really, really fast without a multitude of tools.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. So we still have a few minutes to talk more about game development. If you could create a new game using OutSystems, what would be the dream game that you would create?
Oh man!
It doesn't even have to be real. You don't even need to know if it's feasible. What would you do?
Yeah, so I would say that with more support for more complex game engines behind, so why not have OutSystems being a way for us to orchestrate more complexity, perhaps connected to Unreal, connected to Unity. So to give that next jump, and instead of doing like 2D, more simple games, why don't we leverage the power of low code to build games with the complexity of these big game engines? I think that would be amazing, maybe with even AI assistance.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about like AI, like an agent workbench in gaming, how would you integrate that with like your game setup? Is it actually fully integrated?
That's going to happen now. So
okay.
as it was announced yesterday, we now have OutSystems Developer Cloud personal environments, right?
Yes.
So my game was actually developed before in OutSystems 11. So next plans are going to migrate the application to ODC, and then when we play alone with bots,
yes.
instead of voting randomly, what the bots will do is that will be clever, and they will have AI agents voting on their behalf and using the wildcards when it makes sense. So they will be intelligent.
Yeah. No, that's incredible. So maybe to switch gears just about the conference, since you've been at the conference you've gone to many different OutSystems conferences, I assume. How does this conference vary from the other conferences that you've been at?
Yeah, this has been actually, for me, it's been definitely the biggest conference so far. So everything is a level above as from other years.
Yeah.
So the attendance, the number of attendees, my personal preference was the keynote. I think the keynote was very well balanced between the customer stories and new releases from the product available from today. So I think everyone is very excited about trying out the new features that we have delivered.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. That's cool to think about. So I know we actually have a few minutes to talk more about like your job role, game development, but I guess if you could give any parting thoughts to like our audience just about game development, OutSystems, or even just your job role, what would you say?
Well, I think that one of the most important that I have as takeaway from this conference, that all this excitement about agents, about agent workbench, about now infusing applications with AI, it's for sure the future. And personally, I believe it's going to be the next big thing for application development. It's making them much more intelligent, saving a lot of work in manual work that has been doing. It's being done today by people. So a lot of automation, less UI. Most likely, I see a lot of workflows working on their own with less human interaction with interfaces. So I guess that's going to be something that will keep on its own trend, and I bet next year we'll be here talking about the next stage on that domain for sure.
Oh, that's so cool. So we talked a lot about like your job role and like some of the projects that you worked on with game development. I'm sure you sound like a very creative guy. You have other projects out there, I assume. Where can the audience find other projects that you've worked on, or maybe just to see like what you're up to and like the things that you're working on?
Yeah, so people can find my work in OutSystems blog. There have been some other side projects, for instance, a home automation project. So in my house, actually, the way we turn on a lot of the devices, or how we call the vacuum cleaner, it's on a tablet application that we have on the wall, and it's been running on my personal environment for like 4 years now.
That's incredible.
Still standing, no problems whatsoever. So yeah, OutSystems blog, and on LinkedIn for sure. I have a lot of articles about how I develop these things.
Okay, actually, you know what? I'm gonna extend this out a little bit longer. Can you tell us about this home automation app? How does it work? How does it all connect?
Absolutely. Yeah. So it all started when we bought some washing machine that was from Samsung, and it was connected to these smart things. I have no idea.
Oh, the Smart Things app. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
I have no idea what it was, but I installed the app, and I was getting notifications when the clothes were washed, and I'm like, well, let me dig deeper into what Smart Things is. So then I started to buy more devices and have my hub, and I was like, yeah, the app is okay, but I really want to make it pop and stand out in my home and make it shine. So I had this idea. So what if I integrate OutSystems with Smart Things API, but what if I developed, what I really like to do is to do front-end development and UI design. So then I created a custom application without systems. So it has my home blueprint in 3D and has all the devices in there. So it's all OutSystems logic. The devices are in OutSystems database. The logic is from OutSystems. So it's not just calling an API. Everything is on the OutSystems side. And it's still going strong until today.
Oh my gosh. No, that's incredible. We're going to have to talk about this more after the fact. But Dinesh, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Up next, I'll be chatting with OutSystems team members that may know everything about the new OutSystems Personal Edition. So stay tuned for one short video. Hello and welcome to the OutSystems YouTube channel. My name is Logan Braid. I'm a developer advocate here at OutSystems. In this video, we'll be setting up 2 ODC projects to show off my animated Neo model. The first one, a VR project using A-Frame and the built-in HTML element component in ODC, and 2, an AR project that uses A-Frame, ARJS, and the HTML Inject Forge component from our friends at Product League. Let's jump into it. Paste it. Oh, gotta make sure that is formatted correctly. There we go. So the next thing we need to do is run our project to make sure that everything is working correctly. Show off our hero tag and see if it works. There we go. And we have Neo moving in our AR application. Hello and welcome back to Decoded Live. This next session is going to be awesome because we're talking everything about OutSystems Personal Edition that was announced. And so I'm joined here by Angela and João to talk about the Personal Edition. How are you guys doing?
Fine.
Amazing.
Yes, welcome to the podcast. How about you guys go ahead and just give us in the audience a little bit of an introduction?
May I start?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So my name is Angela. I'm product manager at OutSystems. My priority is ensuring that individual developers have all the tools they need to explore, to learn, and grow with the platform. Either they're just starting or they are already professional developers. I've been at the company since 2017, and it's amazing to see this community grow. I'm really excited to talk about this huge milestone of the P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
João?
Hello. It's great to be here. My name is João Carvalho. I'm a solution engineer at OutSystems. So my goal is to help people that are in a very early stage evaluating the product, technical people that want to see the product and how it works and get them going to see to use the product. I'm here since 2016, and well, the things that really drive me is how we're bringing innovation to our customers. Every time a new cycle comes in, every time a new one comes in, and all the crazy new stuff we bring in, we're actually ingesting inside our customers a lot of innovation that if they had to do by themselves, would be like very big effort.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, as a developer myself, I think when I heard about the announcement of the Personal Edition, I was like, yes. But I wanted to ask you, it's been a topic for a long time. Why are we launching the Personal Edition now, and what changed?
Ooh.
Yeah, so the role of developer is changing dramatically, right? And so developers were used to be asked to write line by line, code, right? And now they are asked to manage the output of AI models. And while this is exciting, it is creating this anxiety in the industry. And so we think that OutSystems can help bridge this gap and help developers with Agent Workbench, with Mentor, to thrive in the AI world, right? So we really want to ensure that the PE, the personal edition, gives all the tools developers need to become an AI developer.
Yeah. João?
Yeah, I think to build on top of it, I think the problem gets even worse with agents. It's not only AI, now it's another level on top of it. And it makes it hard and scary. And I do think that giving developers the ability to have a place where they can experiment, try, fail, succeed, for free, something that they have to build not only important apps for their businesses, but as well as personal things for their own communities or whatever. I think it gives you that platform for you to understand where the trend is going, that you're working on top of a platform that is scalable, and it gives you a career. So back to the innovation that I was talking about, I think it translates back to the developer as well, which is I'm investing time on a platform that is bringing me the innovation. I'm always on the top front of anything that is new, but I'm still working on the same thing. So I'm not disrupting or reinventing myself every year.
Yeah. I know, like, just personally, when I think about AI and all the announcements and everything going on just industry-wide, that fear that you were talking about, it's like so much of my job and role and like has changed over the last 2 years. The way I develop software has fundamentally changed in the last like 6 months even, and that speed at which it's changing it's scary. And so
I think, but then when you look back, you see that. But when you're now thinking ahead, you're thinking, oh God, where is this going? It's left, right, middle, front. Where should I invest time on learning? And I think that having this platform that you can trust that will bring the innovation to you gives you that comfort. Okay, when it's mature, I'll get it, I'll learn, and I'll go.
You're learning as it's changing.
Exactly. And not experimenting or losing time with trends that die and don't go anywhere.
Yeah. So really, the personal edition is about empowerment for developers, it sounds like. Is that correct?
Go.
It is. We really want them to have all the tools, to have the freedom to build on top of all the capabilities we have on the product and thrive.
That's incredible.
I think there are a couple of angles that you can use around the PE. You have a platform for you to learn, which makes sense, which was what we were talking about. You have the platform for you to play, build your stuff internal, but you also have the platform for you to evaluate. And I think the personal environment has a technology side to it and the product side to it, but also has a human component to it, which is we have a set of experts, team behind the PE, where you can call out if you need them, just to book some time and unblock you on whatever you do. So we're not offering just the technology portion, but the safety net, like the human safety net, if you need that kind of help.
Well, a few sessions ago, I had a couple guests on. We were talking about creativity specifically, and I feel like the personal edition PE is actually scratching that creative itch and giving developers the ability to like play around in the environment. But
and you have Forge, which will allow you to show off your creativity, and in the other side, the others who are starting will be able to go to Forge and play with something that's already built by the community, by other pro developers, which is great.
Yeah, help bridge the technical gap with all developers using the platform. So now let's talk about the personal edition, where to get it. Where can people get this?
So that's the simplest question ever, right? Just go to the website and press start free, and you will be able to sign up for a PE, right?
That's incredible. It's really that simple. Just button press and you're good to go.
Yes.
Okay. So now there's been a lot of product announcements. So just to clear up any confusion, will the 011 personal edition be retired with this new announcement? And can a developer have both the new OutSystems personal edition and the 011 personal edition simultaneously?
Yeah, we've been receiving that question a lot, so let's relax.
Take a few steps back.
So 011 personal edition won't be retired, you can have both simultaneously. We still have 011 customers with their critical systems, so it won't go anywhere, even with now the new capabilities where you can have both in the unified platform we just announced. We don't want O11 personal edition to go anywhere.
So the fact there's a new kid in the block doesn't mean the old kid gets.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
retired.
I love that.
That's retired.
It's another offering. It's not
Yes.
a replacement.
Yes.
Yes, that is so good to hear. Because, you know, as developers, we hate it when tools change and we have to, like, move away from something else. And it just makes it a lot easier to, like, naturally make any sort of progression or be able to play with multiple tools at once. So now, one of the other things I think developers think about is limitations of systems and the tools that they use. Does the new OutSystems PE include all the AI capabilities, and what specific limitations should developers be aware of?
So the principle here is the PE provides all the outcomes the paid license provides, right? But
Yeah.
we have on top limitations, namely number of applications that can run at the same time. But the most important thing is all the AI capabilities are there in the PE, even regarding creating new agents. In case you don't have your own paid AI models, in the PE you'll find your trials so that you can try agents. That's it, João. Do you remember any other limitations?
No, I don't think so. I think we're being very generous with
Yes,
this offer,
I
to be
think
honest.
so. That's the
Because the
feedback.
fact that we have
Yeah.
2 AI models with 2,000 tokens each during the one, at least in this launch, the fact that you have the one environment available for you to build anything, no kind of constraints, no limits on agents that you can build.
Yeah.
So the goal is to really try to democratize this notion of AI.
And with collaboration, which is something the O11 personal edition doesn't have. So you are allowed to invite your team members, your friends, to build with you and create and innovate, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, I feel like the general sense of everything that's coming out is we're moving towards making our stuff more available to more developers. And that's just like kind of the vibe I feel like the community is getting, this vibe that I'm getting. It's like we want people to dive in and use what we're creating and kick the tires to do something just awesome with our platform.
Yeah, even with Mentor. Mentor is in the P. Yes, that's the main purpose we created the P, right? It's for you to have AI.
Yeah.
It feels like for some time we were like that shy kid in school that wasn't very confident of showing off the things that you could do. But I think we should be confident. The platform is very strong. And from an AI capability, we are matching whatever and going beyond what's out there in the market, because we have the 24-year development platform, and on top of that we are bridging the gap on everything AI, which was shown yesterday. So I do think we should be confident. We should be comfortable.
Yeah.
Opening and say,
well, I also
I'm
feel
the
like
cool kid. I'm the cool kid, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it feeds our development life cycle, right? A core component is developer feedback. I think it's we want to know if something's not working in our platform to be able to address anything that's going on. It helps us build better products. And I feel like this is a way to do that and to get there.
Correct.
So to kind of focus in on what developers are going to be doing, what kind of apps will they be able to create with this personal edition?
You want me to go? Well, back to the point I was making before. Fundamentally, any type of app, right? But if we want to go through the long answer, there's this type of more training, learning related kind of things where you go through a cookbook and guide you through building something, and while you're learning the components of the platform and how they work and how UI ties with logic and logic ties with data. There's that side of building that playful community type of app, and now the cool thing is that you can bring agents to it for free.
Yeah.
And now you can not only provide that app, which everyone else is doing, you can also now put agents on top of that. But then again, you have people that are actually trying to understand what the platform is for. And I do think the agent is a good way of entering the platform, right? Because it starts becoming a trend and something that people do understand as a concept what it is. And they can go in and understand, okay, I'm building an agent. And then understand that, wait, but behind that agent, I have a platform that allows me to build way more than just the agent. So I think that's the type of things we want people to be building with the platform.
Yeah. To me, I kind of like associate it with building blocks, right?
Yes.
You give all the
Lego
tools and
kind of.
developers can just run with it and be able to do whatever they want with it from a creative standpoint.
Yeah, but in this analogy, You don't want to have multiple brands of those blocks because they don't tie each
Yeah,
other.
exactly.
So you want to use the same brand and build whatever you want. And that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, which I honestly like. I think is crazy about OutSystems just in general, being able to do all of this in low code.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like as a developer, there's so many tools out there to do all of these things, but it's very complicated. You have a lot of steps to learn it, but to have one place to do it now is just
And then you have that
incredible.
standalone thing that you just built. Now what?
Yeah.
How do you release it? How do you integrate? How do you go live with those kind of stuff? And I think that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the biggest questions I think I've been hearing just from developers is this personal edition truly free and forever? Hard question.
It's not. It's not. I think we're continuing on the trend that we had. We always had this trend on the 011 PE, which is as long as you use it, it's free. Keep it. It's yours. And we're maintaining that trend here, right? So
That's
as
amazing.
long as you're you're creating activity, the PE is yours. You can keep it. You can build whatever you want with that. So yes, I think it is free forever. As long as you use it, it's free forever.
Yeah. See, I love that it's a simple answer because, I am like, I got to ask this question. Are we serious right now, camera? But it's to have it just be, yeah. That's easy. So now another question that we've been hearing is, will developers be able to submit forged components from the new PE?
Yes, and we want that. We highly incentivize developers. That's what I said. It's a win-win, both for pro developers that showcase their expertise and the ones that are just starting. They can grab out-of-the-box components and start learning from example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now to kind of change things up a little bit, obviously there's been a lot of announcements. A lot of things have changed over the years. I heard, Angela, that you've been with OutSystems since 2017, João 2016. What changes are you excited about this company making, like this past year, this upcoming year, and what are you excited to see going forward?
Well, to me, it's really the way OutSystems is reacting to market changes. So in the way we are helping developers to fast track their way to AI by abstracting all the complexity. I've always been impressed. So since I remember with OutSystems, I've always been impressed by how OutSystems helps developers improve their careers. And with AI, I feel that it only intensifies. Without systems, I feel that anyone can become an AI developer, which is, whoa, it's amazing. It's transforming careers. To me, it's super motivating.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's like, it actually, the stuff that you do is like empowering people to make very interesting projects and change other people's lives.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Yeah, to me, that's it.
To me, as someone that day to day is trying to understand the challenges prospects have and what they are evaluating, I do feel that we actually operate at the speed of a startup, being a company with 20 years old, which is, I don't feel that it's normal. I don't feel that that's something normal.
Same, I agree with that.
And the fact that you're able to bring this level of innovation and I feel from what I've been hearing here at One, where with the releases that we have today, we are a bit further in the market that even our customers have that need, because people are just grasping what agents can do, and we already have the capability to build proper agents and going live, as we've seen in the keynote. So I do think that's the thing that really excites, is the fact that it's a 20-year-old company that been through a lot, in created a lot of innovation for our customers, but still can lead the market, still can lead the way, still can catch a trend like this and be on top of everything. And I think that's what creates this excitement.
Yeah. No, that's incredible, guys. Well, Angela, João, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you. Up next, I'm going to be chatting with our VP of Customer Success about all of the exciting changes. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Decoded Live. I am sitting here with Miguel, our VP of Customer Success. Miguel, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, very good. Do you think you'd be able to introduce yourself to our audience and our viewers right now?
Of course. So, my name is Miguel Albeda. I run the global customer success organization in OutSystems. I've been in OutSystems for 11 years.
Oh, wow.
But by far, in my opinion, this is the best one ever. So, super excited for what I've seen in the last days.
That's incredible. So, can you maybe tell us a little bit about your role at the conference?
Sure. So, the conference is really important for us to get our message to the customers, our vision and direction. Mm-hmm. So, I'm very excited with what Woodson and the whole team communicated.
Yeah.
And that makes my life much easier as I work with customers. And customer success job is to help our customers get the maximum value out of their platform. So the more they build, the more applications they have, the more agents they build with OutSystems, the more value they get for their business. And of course, also that's good for OutSystems and for us to continue to grow.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like this whole conference is, I mean, it wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our customers and our clients, the people who use our platforms. And so it's kind of a way to like show off, hey, this is what's coming up for you, to keep feeding their innovation and their ability to like create the applications that they want to create.
Exactly, and I've seen them really excited. So there's not one customer that I think, or all the customers are coming out of this conference really excited with really good ideas. I spoke with some of them. I spoke with Travel Essence that did an amazing presentation.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by what they built. So I also will go out of here with more ideas on how to help our customers grow their business.
Yeah. Again, feedback loop, right? You hear it's the sharing of ideas to create cool applications. So now, you talked about being with OutSystems for quite a number of years, and I'm sure you've seen many OutSystems conferences. This conference is not quite over, but we are moving into some of the final sessions now. What were the highlights for you this year?
Yeah, obviously the keynotes.
Yes.
I think it was really, really good on the message. I think it's really important for our customers to understand that we heard them and that the decisions that we're making are what we think are best for them and based on their feedback. So that message for us is really important so that the customers can understand that we want more feedback, we want to know more, and we will evolve based on that. Then I love Kevin Hart from Axis Bank. I think he's a great speaker.
Yeah, for sure.
He knows a lot about IT, so for me, that session was special.
Yeah. And I think when you speak from like, when you're speaking something that you're passionate about, it just shows to like customers and clients, like, I care about this. I want to make it as good as possible because I love doing it.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And what better to have people like Kevin talk about what they've been able to accomplish with OutSystems. It's incredible. It's much better than me telling a customer what they can do. So I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I see the next is already passing by.
So we didn't only announce things during this conference, but we've made tons of changes over the past year and have been announcing things incrementally. And I know that your team is probably the primary group that receives that feedback from customers and developers. What is the greatest piece of feedback that you've seen as a result of the changes for this platform recently?
Yeah. In terms of our customers, in my opinion, obviously the agentic piece is like amazing and it is the future.
Yeah.
But the way that we removed O11 end of life, I think that was absolutely critical. And the feedback again that I got from customers is that now they can focus on just building AI, building agentic, building new features. And that was an amazing message, and all my team gave me the same feedback as well.
Yeah, I think that shift of, going from 11 end of life to indefinite. I like that switch happened in such a great way, and I feel like a lot of that just came from the developer community. I think as a part of DevRel and communicating with developers and the community is we want to hear that feedback, and we tell developers that feedback matters. We do listen to it, and the changes that happen because of it is incredible.
Yeah, and let me also say, so the best developers that I know, they like to build new stuff.
Yeah.
So it's great just to be able to focus the teams on that. Just try new applications, evolve what you have versus what we had before.
Yeah, exactly. So most of our audience for this live stream are developers. Can you talk about the work you do in customer success as it relates to developers?
Of course. Developers are obviously critical. This is
yes.
a development platform, so that's great. We've seen a lot of new developers, young people, getting excited about the platform. I think that they're the main engine a lot of times within our customers.
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of customers that if their development team is excited, the platform is more successful and they're better able to leverage it.
Yes.
So our team, we try to work with those teams, coach them when needed, give them support when needed, work with them on hackathons whenever possible. That's not when needed, but whenever possible. So they're absolutely critical, and I'm really happy to work in a company that has helped a lot of them build careers around OutSystems, and I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, no, that is. So the role of the developer is rapidly changing. I mean, I know me as a developer, it feels like my entire workflow has changed in the last 6 months. But how is the role of customer success changing with AI?
That's a great question. So on the operational level, so a lot of the tools that we use to predict adoption, to predict risk, to better understand exactly what the customers need and when they need it, AI is a game changer.
Yeah.
So our tools internally are being affected by that, and we're deploying many tools with many AI tools so that we can improve how we service our customers and how we can be proactive about it. In terms of our job as customer success at OutSystems, we need to learn more about agentic and AI. I think the team is already proficient. But for instance, I was, again, talking about travel lessons, and I was talking, and I was learning, and they took 1 month to develop the 3 agents. So
wow,
I need to learn more about it because I would love to work with other customers and work with them to build more agents in 3 months. So it's still a shift. We need to better understand how it works. We have a great product organization as well that will coach us so that we can work with our customers.
Even though like we're proficient, the industry as a whole is like AI is in its infancy.
Completely.
So it's like we're going to be learning and creating and developing along as like the industry changes.
I'm sorry, that's why it's so important what Woodson said. So if you get an agent in production, until the end of the year, you will get Agent Workbench until the end of your contract for free. So we want to learn from what our customers develop. We want to learn what developers do. We want to learn how the platform can evolve. So please do it. We'll be here to support you.
That's amazing. So your customers using O11 will now have access to a unified platform with ODC. What will the initial impact be of that enormous change?
That's great because with O11 they can access the data and applications that they already developed, and just focusing on how to augment those applications. So I think it's a game changer. I think that our customers will be able to leverage the best of OutSystems in ODC and just leverage a really strong, stable platform in O11 and just focus on innovation. And also AI is obviously changing all the businesses, so they can just focus more on that and leverage what they already have, which is pretty good.
Yeah. So we talked about your highlights of this conference, but what are you hearing from customers and developers at this conference?
A lot of good feedback. So what I'm hearing is that customers really like the direction. As I said, having a unified platform is great for them. Unblocking the access to ODC. So I was just hearing, I think from your previous guest, we already have thousands of new PEs released just between yesterday and today.
Wow.
So I think that's awesome in terms of developers as well. We just want people to try our platform, understand why it's the best platform in the world for development.
Yeah.
And just give us our feedback and we'll continue to improve.
Yeah. So now we talked about a couple of different use cases for Workbench and Mentor. Are there any other use cases that you've seen thus far with the platforms?
Yeah, I was talking about yesterday with some customers. My experience with OutSystems is so big in terms of use cases. We work with all types of industries. We work with all types of vertical use cases. So what I've seen from Travel Essence again was, for me, a very, very telling. But I was meeting with customers today from manufacturing. They were trying to understand how to use it in their manufacturing floor, how to use agentic.
Yeah.
So I'm more curious on what I'll see.
Yeah.
Than because I
still
think I will
evolving,
learn
yeah.
from them. It's not up to me to tell them, but it's always amazing what people can do with OutSystems.
Yeah, that's incredible. Well, Miguel, it's been great talking to you. Thank
it
you
was
so
my
much.
pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us here, and we have to talk in the future more
For sure.
about this. With that being said, we're going to take a quick short break, and we will be back in just a moment.
The guy had been editing the code for 1 hour. We were working on top of an old operating system. This was a while ago, using C. And we were working on Solaris. There was this guy working on Emacs, you know, the editor. He'd been at it for an hour, very focused, and nobody wanted to interrupt him. But I started getting fidgety. And one of the things we needed to do was actually to test limit situations for the software in terms of memory usage. And so I did something very basic. I put a loop on the side that would use memory. But turns out that allocating memory is something that happens very fast. As soon as I run that software, I just use the entire system memory. The guy suddenly starts, what's happening? What's happening? And he starts pressing the keyboard and there is no response from the edit and he lost all the work that he had done. Sorry, I guess. And so it's really interesting while sometimes small experiments can have a big impact on the work of other people. I asked him why he hadn't saved his work in the meantime. So it's also a lesson for him. I like to believe that he learned that saving often is really very important.
Hello and welcome back.
Hello, hello. Well, Logan, we did it.
Yeah, another one for the history books.
But we have one last guest. Our friend Neo has joined us to show off his brand new suit. Neo, can you show us what you got?
Whoa!
Oh, the hard eyes one. That was so sweet.
That's very impressive. Well, everyone, that's it for us. Thank you so much for joining us here during this live stream at 1 in Lisbon.
Yes, thank you all. You can catch up on any segments you missed by heading to either the LinkedIn event or the YouTube playlist. In the next few weeks, like we've said a few times on the stream, talks from the conference will be uploaded. I think the keynote's going to be up any minute. And I tried to get a hard date for you all. Again, the video team just looked at me blankly and seemed to panic. Keep your eye out on the website for updates on that.
Yeah. Well, everyone, it has been a pleasure being your host. Thank you so much for tuning in, checking in our sessions. If you're here at the conference, thank you for being at the conference. And of course, we hope to see you soon on another episode of Decoded.
Bye.
Bye.